Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
Auto repair with personal care. We know what we're talking about. Matt Gibbs and the guys over at Sunrise Automotive will treat you right. We'll treat you right.
All right, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. Matt Gibbs is in the studio from Sunrise Automotive. He's the guy who fixes my car. How you doing, Matt?
Hey, I'm doing good, Larry. How are you?
Good. Should we tell the listeners what's going on?
If you want to. I think it's exciting.
I'm going to put the camera going out the window because there's a bomb threat at the mall. There's a bomb threat. How did we find out? Did a policeman come in?
I don't know. I was just told to evacuate.
You were told to evacuate?
Well, they told me to evacuate, so I came in.
Who did?
Shh, don't tell nobody.
Oh, okay.
I'm supposed to be in here.
So somebody called up the mall. Do we know anything about it, Dan? No, we don't know anything. All right. So the mall is empty?
They're flocking out like, they're herding them out like sheep.
Well, the Ocala police are here.
Yeah, the OPD's here.
So what do they do? Get a dog? How do they find a bomb?
I haven't seen a dog. I don't know. I don't know where the bomb squad is. We just see a bunch of officers.
But doesn't the bomb squad usually have a dog?
I would think they do.
So can you imagine that as a job?
Being a bomb sniffing dog?
Yeah, you were talking. I mean, that's got to be cool.
Especially if you...
I mean, they can smell things from a mile away. Which is why I'm always wondering why they put their nose right up against each other.
I don't smell nothing.
No, you can't smell anything. That's what you needed at the garage. You need a bomb, not a bomb-smelling dog, but like a problem-sniffing dog.
Well, we do use the garage for the Ocala Police Department and the Sheriff's Department. They've come in and did some training.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you know something, Joe? Anything new?
Nothing.
No? Are you writing something? You not gonna talk? Do not.
Talk to Matt.
All right, do not. Sorry.
Do not.
Do not. Okay, I won't do not.
Talk to Matt.
All right. Hey, Matt.
Hey,
How's your family going? Everything all right?
Yeah, everything's going good.
How's your car working? What kind of a car do you have?
I have a Ford Expedition.
Do you know I started my lawnmower yesterday? I thought of you. I hadn't started it all winter long.
Oh.
Yesterday was the first day I cut the grass.
Actually, I brought mine to the shop.
Okay, all right. Don't say anything about the bomb. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. No, it's not funny. It's not funny.
You can't be a no. Well, anyway. So I started my lawnmower.
Yep.
You said you started your lawnmower?
Well, I brought it down to the shop. I was going to work on it today.
Oh, okay. What do you have, a riding lawnmower?
Yeah.
Does the transmission in a riding lawnmower resemble the transmission in a car?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Because?
It's just a different style of transmission.
Yeah, okay.
They use like what they call hydrostatic.
Yeah, okay.
So the more you push down on it, the faster it goes.
Do you prefer not to work on lawnmowers?
Oh, I don't mind working on my lawnmower.
On your lawnmower?
Yeah,
but you don't want us bringing our lawnmowers to you,
No,
right?
not really. No. I mean, I do some for some customers. I'll do generators, lawnmowers, some small engine stuff. I just don't have the space for it.
So when you told me a couple of times ago that when you first crank up a car, it's not unusual to have that little rattling thing going on. That sounds like the oil is still making its way to everywhere it needs to be.
Exactly.
Does that get worse as it gets older?
It can, yeah, absolutely.
And what actually causes that to get worse?
I mean, a lot of times it's in the time and chain components. You know, the time and chain tensioners that hold the time and chain, stuff like that. You know, as things wear out, things wear.
Right.
I don't want to say wear out, but they wear.
Do you know what's weird to me is that sometimes I'll start my car and it doesn't have that sound. And sometimes it does. Yeah. And I've tried to figure it out. Is it because it's cold? Is it because it's hot? What is that?
A lot of times it's due to the temperature, to the weather. If it's colder out, they typically make a little bit more noise than when it's warmer out.
Yeah. But there's nothing you can do about it. You know the stuff they used to sell, STP gunk or something like that?
Yeah, STP oil treatment.
Yeah, but wasn't there something called gunk? Or was that gunk a brand name?
Gunk is a different, it's a brand.
But there was this really thick stuff. I don't see them selling that anymore. Did they stop selling it?
No, there's some companies that still sell it.
And what did that...
We call it motor honey.
Do you got an allergy going on right now?
Yes, I do. You can tell. It's a good thing.
Is it because of the fragrance of the mall right now?
I think it's because the pollen. There's some pollen in here, and the rain kind of brings the pollen down.
Right.
It kind of increases my activity in my nose.
Yeah. Okay. So the thick stuff doesn't. I mean, with the engines today, there's a smaller area, correct?
There's smaller components.
Smaller components, and that's why the thick stuff is no longer any good.
Well, some of the thick stuff is good. It breaks down to where it does work very well. Like Schaefer's AXA has a oil treatment. It's a Molly oil treatment that I put in all my cars.
And we have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Yes, good morning, guys.
Hey.
Say a car with, let's say, 40, 50,000 miles, you're doing a brake job. Is it important to change the brake fluid? Does that break down in time, or is it okay?
No, it's typically okay. We always look at it. As long as it's not been contaminated with something, it'll be okay. I mean, we do look at them, and there are people out there that charge you for brake fluid services, but a lot of times if we did a caliper, we're gonna change the fluid anyway, because we're gonna open up the system and let some of the brake fluid out. So, and by the time you end up bleeding it and everything, you have all new fluid in there anyway. So we do look at them and just make sure that it's not been contaminated. If it's not been contaminated, there's no reason to go in there and change the fluid.
Yeah. I would imagine if you're losing a little fluid over time, you probably got a crack or a break in a line somewhere. Would that be right?
More than likely, you've got an issue with a master cylinder leaking or a wheel cylinder leaking. If you get but if you get that kind of crack, about instantly. I mean, a hairline crack in a brake line means you got no brake pedal.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on that line. I suppose that's squirt out right away, huh?
Yeah, quickly.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
So, does brake fluid have like the good ones and the not so good ones? So the more you spend on oil, it seems like it's the better oil.
Well, now a lot of these cars, just like everything else, are using a synthetic type brake fluid. Brake fluids are determined by the boiling point of the brake fluid.
Oh, really?
Like in when we race, whether we're racing motorcycles, cars, whatever, we use a higher brake fluid number that represents a higher boiling point of that brake fluid, so that it will take tremendous amount of heat while you're racing.
And you have another phone call. Go on, and you're on the air with Matt.
Hey, good morning, Matt.
Morning.
Good morning, Larry.
Hey, Joe.
Man, you guys rocked it Saturday morning.
You did.
Dot 5 and dot 3, dot 3, 4 are pretty much the same thing, and I'm probably going to get the terminology incorrect, but they're hygroscopic. They'll assume water throughout the system, and I know that on dot 5, on some of the motorcycles, every lowest point in the brake system is where the water collects, and it's don't know that much about cars. Everything I have is old, but on motorcycles, you really got to flush that once a year. And is it the same with automobiles? I'll hang up and get the answer, Matt. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, thank you.
I just don't see it with automobiles like I do with motorcycles. I know that when my sons were racing motorcycles, that we did do that. We did it a lot. I serviced the brake fluid in them because a lot of they were riding motocross, and motocross you ride in the rain, you ride in the mud, and so therefore, because of what we were doing to the motorcycle,
right,
we would have to change the fluid. If this is what you're doing to a car, then it may require that you service that.
I got you. Right.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
But when I'm on the air and we're talking on this show, I'm automatically assuming that we're talking about cars that we drive to work and we pick up.
It's just normal
kids.
driving.
Right, normal driving.
Right.
Now, if you're out four-wheeling and you're out in the mud, you're doing this and you're doing that, there's all kinds of things you're going to be replacing.
Right.
Because you're going to wear them out.
And you have another phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Hi, there's some kind of bomb threat, man. You got to get out, dude. They're going to blow you up.
Say it again. I can't hear you. He's gone. Yeah, don't know what that is. So anyway, if you have a question about your car or your motorcycle or your boat or any engine really, you can call Matt right now. I like the idea that sometimes we might be able to fix something with an additive. But it never works out. In other words, when I was much younger, I would go and get that Marvel Mystery Oil and put it in, and sometimes it would work and sometimes it wouldn't. Or the other one that I liked was the radiator stop leak stuff. Sometimes it would work.
And sometimes it wouldn't.
Right.
But are you fixing something?
No, well, I don't know, but it kept me going for a little bit longer.
You know, you're not really fixing it. You're just kind of putting a Band-Aid on it.
Right. I know. Well, the phone number is 622-9622. We take a little break, and we will be right back. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. More clouds and sun today with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm crossing the area. The high 78 to 82. Mostly cloudy tonight with a shower around early, low 59 inland, 65 on the coast. Tomorrow will turn out partly sunny, but there may be a brief shower in spots in the afternoon, the high 80 to 84. On Wednesday, partly sunny and warm again, a chance of a shower, high 82 to 86. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Whether you're building it up or knocking it down, get it done, rent it now. Sunbelt Rentals is here to make your job a little easier. Our knowledgeable staff will help you find the right equipment for any job, big or small. Did you know that Sunbelt Rentals carries heaters, air conditioners, generators, lighting, traffic control, and so much more? So whether you're building it up or knocking it down, we've got the equipment you need. Get it done, rent it now. And right now, for a limited time, you can have it for less. Just by mentioning this ad, if you rent it Friday afternoon, you can keep it the whole weekend and only pay for one day. But this is a limited time offer, so stop into Sunbelt Rentals today, Northwest 27th, just a quarter mile east of I-75. For more information, just give us a call, 352-369-9101. 352-369-9101. Sunbelt Rentals. Get it done, rent it now. 352-369-9101.
Buried under receipts and confusing tax code, let Crippen & Company help. They work hard to make the tax preparation process as painless as possible. With offices in Ocala and the Villages, their team is dedicated to helping clients with corporate and personal tax returns, bookkeeping for businesses, and estate planning for the future. Crippen & Company crafts a truly customized experience for each client's needs while alleviating stress and creating a big picture of your overall financial health. Call 352-732-4260 or visit crippencpa.com to get started.
Now, Larson, that is, not breaking out of line. Instead, he'll look to the high side of the racetrack. Allgaier likes the lane down low. Is trying to wind that car up topside.
Two good battles going on in that pack of traffic. First it is Austin Dillon trying to drop to the inside of the racetrack and pull up alongside to pass Justin Allgaier. Kyle Larson also looking for some room in turn one.
That's a good five-car battle now from about the fourth or fifth position on back, led by Casey Kane. Here comes Sam Hornish on the move again.
He'll cut left to the inside of the racetrack. He and Austin Dillon side by side, Ford and Chevy, wheel to wheel, and it's the Mustang that'll slip underneath the Camaro, grab the spot, and now go after Casey Kane.
Obviously a very strong car for Sam Hornish Jr. A couple of laps ago. He got by Justin Allgaier. Now, Dave, he gets by Austin Dillon, and he'll set his sights on Casey Kane.
Yeah, but Austin's not exactly convinced that he wants to give that spot up. He takes a peek to the inside of Hornish off turn number 2, but Sam with a good run will hold him off.
He started that run to the bottom off the second corner. Started like he was going to make the move to the inside. He'll get back in line with that Advocare Chevrolet and follow that Alliance Truck Parts Ford of Hornish to the corner.
So 9 laps are on the scoreboard. Kyle Busch is still the leader. And Dave, you look down in turns 1 and 2. I can't believe this early how hard they're racing right up against the concrete out there, about 6 inches off that wall.
Wouldn't want to have my hand between the safer barrier and the flow of traffic right now, Barney. They have indeed snuggled right up to that safer barrier. A couple of cars have already picked up a rudimentary Darlington stripe here in the opening laps.
Kyle Busch has pulled away to a 2-second lead over Matt Kenseth after 10 laps of racing. Again, it's Kyle, Kenseth, Elliott Sadler, Brian Vickers, and Casey Kane. Working their way up off turn number 4, back to start finish. It'll be just 2 laps to go. Kyle extends the lead over Elliott Sadler now to nearly 2 seconds with Vickers, Logano, and Kenseth, the rest of the top 5.
Kyle Busch all by himself through turns 1 and 2. May have to deal with the lap machine of Mike Wallace. May not as they head to turn 3. The lead is that big.
Here's Kyle off the end of the back straightaway. Takes his Toyota right down the middle of the racetrack. Slides wide up against the safer barrier as he works to the main straightaway, looking for the white flag.
And he's going to see it. He crosses his stripe, the dominant race car all night long. Kyle Busch for the final time in turn number 1.
He has been a monster tonight in that Monster Energy Toyota Camry. Led the most laps, shucked off all the challenges down the stretch. It's all Kyle Busch off to.
Kyle Busch for the final time up the back straightaway. He's got lap traffic ahead of him, and he's not being pressed for the position behind him. Here's Kyle again up the racetrack, large and in charge. Kyle Busch is looking for the checkers in Darlington.
His dominance here tonight at Darlington is similar to his dominance this season. He scores for the 5th time in 2013, tonight winning at tough old Darlington Raceway. Kyle Busch gets the win. Elliott Sadler will come in second. It's Brian Vickers third, Joey Logano fourth, and Matt Kenseth comes in 5th. Let's go to pit road.
And the celebration is on down here. Adam Stevens reaching over the pit box, getting high fives all the way around from his pit crew. And for the 5th time in only 8 races that he's run in 2013, Kyle Busch going to victory lane, leading a Joe Gibbs 1-2-3 sweep in 5th place finish for the top 5 for JGR.
A dominant win for Kyle Busch, his 56th win in his NASCAR nationwide career.
This is MRN, the Motor Racing Network. If you're having problems with your Wagner receiver, call Westwood One Technical Operations at 888-HELP-450. That's 888-435-7450. Email Westwood One at netops@westwoodone.com or go online at www.dg-tech.net.
4 minutes and 25 seconds of racing remaining. Juan Pablo did yield the lead to Max Angelelli, but Max had to make a pit stop of his own, which he did for a splash of fuel moments ago. So Juan Pablo Montoya and that entire Chip Ganassi racing team back atop the leaderboard. Max Angelelli made his stop. A.J. Allmendinger out there running for Michael Shank Racing, having a superb run. That team battling back from 7 laps down twice to be such a part of this event, and that's the testimony to these hard-working racing teams. Just go out there and continue to work so very well. But Scott Pruitt, Memo Rojas, Juan Pablo Montoya.
Ingredients at a very affordable price, and then you're treated with courtesy and respect, and have a fun atmosphere. And so we got people that might break into a dance or a song behind the counter. Oh, really? And so putting all that together brings it all to a nice cream experience.
You realize you didn't say ice cream, cookie, sweet. You didn't say any of that.
No, we're about the experience.
It's about the experience.
Absolutely.
So then if you look at other brands that are out there, like, for example, Disney World, it's about the experience.
That is correct.
So you're saying that is what we're trying to do. When you go there, you're walking away, and the food or what you just ate is secondary. The experience is primary.
I don't know if I classify the food as secondary, because in my opinion, the food is a base for that experience.
Expect that.
You've got to have premium quality products in order to enhance that experience. And you really can't separate the two. So I think they go hand in hand, and we look forward to a very delightful experience for our customers.
Every one of them. How many creams are throughout the country?
Right now, as of this moment, there's 11 open.
11, because the first week of spring,
that is right.
You're opening one in San Diego.
One in San Diego, celebrating first day of spring, absolutely.
That's
so
amazing.
It makes it 12.
12?
That's correct.
12 is a lot. That's a dozen.
12 open now. We have a sort of a strategy that will enable us to have 30 by the end of this year.
Okay.
And 75 by the end of 2016.
And that's the franchise strategy,
That
correct?
is correct.
Which I love franchises, because you wrote the book on success. You know what it takes to do this. Here's the manual. We've done it. Find the right location. Do you help with locations, or you think?
Absolutely.
So why wouldn't somebody want to do a franchise with Cream, since you've had this success already with the other ones?
Absolutely. I think franchising presents people with a very positive option where all the kinks have been worked out of the system, so they don't have too much risk at stake. So the option of franchising really can be a very good option for a person to start with. And the investment is minimal, if you will.
What's minimal?
I would say all in.
Because a Hampton is about $4 million if I want a Hampton hotel. Are you anywhere near a Hampton hotel?
No.
No? What are we looking at? We're looking under 300,000?
Anywhere between 200 and 450,000.
Under $500,000.
Under half.
You get a successful model to move forward, because it's a model. That's the idea. I love these type of businesses. You know, we have so many successful franchise companies that range from, I've seen from cleaning services that do very, very well. Hampton is actually one of the most popular. I'm not sure if you knew that. Yeah. Subway, right?
Yeah.
The manual's written, as long as it's the right location, which is crucial, you have great success. And you've done this.
True. I think there's a lot of elements that go into it, and absolutely, franchising can be a great option for people.
So you're very excited about San Diego.
We are, absolutely.
What makes San Diego different than San Francisco?
Well, actually, there's a lot of similarities. There's the climate issue that's similar, although San Diego is a little bit warmer.
Yeah, I want to make sure you know that.
Yeah, no, I know that. But it doesn't have the traffic. It doesn't have some of the issues that other places have. So we're excited about being in SoCal, and San Diego represents a great market for cream.
Now, you're known as Jimmy.
Correct.
Is that what people call you?
Yes.
So you're the owner. You're the guy that runs it. You really have a really good relationship with your team, don't you?
Absolutely. Our team is everything to us.
It's a family.
Absolutely.
So when you started, how many years ago did you start Cream?
We started in December of 2010.
Okay, wait. In 5 years, you've grown this business to be a dozen.
Yes.
That's impressive. It really is. What were you doing prior to this?
I was a small business owner. I owned many retail shops in the San Francisco Bay Area, and did some small business consulting as well. And then when the economy sort of slowed down because of the banking crisis.
That's right, 2008, right?
We sat around the table and sort of discussed as a family, where do we go from here? And the idea of Cream was born actually over a plate of spaghetti.
So it was a family idea.
Absolutely.
So generally you build a business based upon a need, right? Or you're solving a problem.
Correct.
When you saw the families come together, where did this come? Does it not exist? Does a Cream-like environment not exist? Or did something exist like it that just didn't do it the right way?
Well, the ice cream sandwich existed for millennia, if you will. But what we brought to the table is something that we felt doesn't exist. And it was born out of our family's experiences in the retail world, if you will.
So you understood the retail market.
Absolutely.
You understand location, obviously, right? But doing a food service environment, was that something that you knew, or is that something you had to learn?
We knew some parts of food service. We didn't know ice cream retail service. And so we would have to, once we started our business, we had to work out many challenges that we came across, many obstacles, many issues that we didn't think about previously. Issues like what kind of equipment to have, because there is no template for this kind of business. And so we were given the responsibility of sort of putting together a template, a template on equipment needed, on inner systems, HR, actually to develop a microcosm of a big business, to be able to deal with everyday issues, inventory control, customer service.
You put all this together. You were writing, as a business plan, you were putting it together.
Well, we didn't have an official business plan.
But something to follow, at least,
and that's something I recommend for everybody to do.
Because you didn't do it.
Because we didn't do it.
But you are doing that now. When people get into the franchise, you almost put a business plan together for somebody.
Absolutely.
People want to find out more. What's the website?
creamnation.com.
Creamnation.com. And the information regarding franchise is on the site, correct?
That's absolutely correct.
And all the locations, too. So you can find out where all 12 and now 13 locations are throughout West Coast right now, but we'll see those pop all over the place, right?
We have one in Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Of course.
That's open. So.
Yeah, that one makes sense there, too. When we come back, let's really talk about the idea of getting this business going day one of opening this up and how you attracted people and how you can help people want a cream or a place like yours to do the same. Let's do it, all right? And also Gregory Markell. When we return, I'm Ken Rakowski, and this is Business Rockstars.
Fox News Radio, I'm Joe Chiaro. The first of many, Texas Senator Ted Cruz will formally announce his candidacy for the White House today. Overnight, he tweeted his intentions and posted a video.
I believe in America and her people, and I believe we can stand up and restore our promise.
He'll be at Christian College Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia for the formal announcement this morning. Demonstrations erupt in Kabul over the murder of a female religious scholar.
Hundreds of Afghans taking to the streets to demand justice for 27-year-old Farkunda. She was beaten, pushed from a roof, and run over by a car before being set on fire and thrown into the Kabul River last week for allegedly burning the Koran.
Fox Radio's Jessica Gallagher and a man in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, facing charges after police say he shot his 18-year-old son because there was no orange juice left. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Geico presents Fan Mail to a Pig.
Dear Maxwell, I just want to say thank you for making my Geico Insurance ID card digital. It's easy to find on the app. It doesn't give me paper cuts, and I always have it on hand because it's on my phone. Because of this, I finally cleaned out my glove box, which was filled with years of paper ID cards. Any thought on what I should put in my glove box now? Sincerely, Trent Patterson. Trent, what can you put in the glove box? Here's a crazy thought. How about gloves?
Digital insurance ID cards, just a tap away on the Geico app.
You're running your business, and we at Wix.com know things can get stressful. But creating your website doesn't have to be. With Wix, you can create a professional website all by yourself. It's easy and free. You don't have to be a programmer. Just drag and drop everything into place. It's your website, your style. Show the world what you can do. Go to Wix.com and create your own stunning website today. It's easy and free.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
In a study involving more than 2,000 people, those with slimmer waistlines showed higher cognitive ability than those who were overweight or obese. Our pets improve our character and make us much better people. If your partner's the one who's stressed out, we know that you will be 25% more likely to be affected than a stranger would be. Yeah, be careful because stress is contagious.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
A lot of people think I'm superstitious. I never step on cracks. I never keep black cats on the ranch. I never open umbrellas indoors, not even in the barn. And I never let a young calf go unvaccinated. Because young calves are up against a whole lot more than you think. And I'm not just talking about bad luck, but stuff that even their mama's milk can't protect them from in the long run. Like BVD type 1B, the most common subtype of BVD in infected calves. That's why I vaccinate them with Pyramid 5 Plus Pre-Sponse SQ. It's the only approved combination vaccine that protects calves from BVD type 1B respiratory disease for at least 217 days. Plus, its viral and bacterial protection shields the unluckiest of calves. Even my doomed number 13 calf. Talk with your Beringer Ingelheim Vetmedica Inc. representative today. Learn more at bi-vetmedica.com/cattle.
Hi, Danny Warfel here. Get moving with Florida Credit Union's fast and easy loan approval process.
Let Florida Credit Union start up a new car loan for you today. No more waiting, hassles, or stop signs. You can even apply online. With a strong financial team behind you, you can enjoy great rates and fast approvals.
It's all about personalized service and a streamlined process.
Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life.
Real
estate is the largest and most personal investment that any of us will ever make. Be sure to tune in Tuesdays at 10 a.m. when Bob Kennedy, owner of Berkshire Hathaway Home Team Realty, will be answering your questions and discussing real estate. So remember, that's Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Call 622-9622 with your questions. It pays to be an informed buyer or seller. This is news you can use from Berkshire Hathaway Home Team Realty and your friends here at WOCA.
Holidays and memories go hand in hand. Why not make this Easter even more memorable by serving a honey-baked ham and delicious sides and desserts? Yum! Yes, the coconut and lemon cream cakes are back.
Enjoying the family, egg hunts, and just being able to relax without having to spend hours in the kitchen will make your day a memorable one. Hop on over to Honey Baked Ham.
Call and place your holiday order today, 861-0011. That's 861-0011. Honey Baked Ham, behind Best Buy.
Did you vote on it?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Because it's a simple name, right? And I think simplicity is part of it.
It's a name once it was thrown out there for discussion.
Mm-hmm.
The pros came out feverishly in favor,
mm-hmm.
and there was no cons. Nobody objected. It just represented who we are.
You're sitting around the table with spaghetti. Cream is born. From the day it was born, how long did it take to actually open up your first location?
I would say about 12 to 14 months.
12 to 14 months.
Correct.
And in that 12 to 14 months, was it a difficult time? Because again, you said it was just right. It's not a good time in the economy. 2009 and 10,
correct.
Right?
Yes.
Raising money wasn't all that easy. Okay.
No.
I'm guessing you probably use your own resources to do a lot of this.
That is correct.
Opening up in San Francisco, there is a very interesting climate in San Francisco. Let's face it, it is about 12 degrees too cold.
Correct. I agree.
If there's a thermostat somewhere, please let's turn it up a little. So, and it does rain, even though January is the first January it didn't rain at all, by the way, which is kind of weird.
We're going through a drought right now.
You're going through a drought.
Yeah.
Ice cream in San Francisco, to me, Vegas makes a lot of sense. But in San Francisco, tell me what the mindset was saying, let's do this. Because I think you you came to me day one saying we're going to open up an ice cream, it's not an ice cream sandwich, ice cream experience in San Francisco, I would tell you you're crazy.
When we started the idea, actually, we were looking for a family small business.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have grand ideas about developing the business from the get-go. So we were looking for a location that myself and my wife can work in the morning, and my children can take the night shift.
Family.
That's what we wanted to do, basically, just to make a living. And when we began actually in the original location in Berkeley, not in San Francisco. And so we found a location that we really fell in love with right from the start. And we began the process. And I think one thing that we did not expect is the big reception that the community had for us and for the products that we had to offer. Because that was a surprise to us.
Well, but you're dietary sensitive. Okay, so you accommodate towards vegans.
Absolutely.
Okay, you accommodate towards every lactose intolerant. You accommodate
gluten-free.
I mean, that's a rarity by itself. That was, true. And I want to say you're 5 or 6 years early on that, because I think that's the hot thing now. So you're somewhat of a visionary in that aspect. And I think that's why, especially Berkeley, who is a progressive environment, they really they loved what you're doing.
That is absolutely correct. In addition to the high quality of the products that we had, I mean, so the products that we began with, that we have continued to use, are products that we eat at home. That my wife would bake the cookies for our children. And they are the same superior quality, and I think that made a big dent with the people.
Wait, the cookies that are on the actual the cookie, I don't even call it an ice cream cookie because it's more than that. Okay, that's your wife's recipe?
Yeah, they're proprietary recipes now. Yeah,
they're proprietary.
Yeah.
So because it was Berkeley and being a very progressive environment, do you think that was what really made it work, because you hit the right place at the right time?
I don't know if that if that was the factor, but I think what we had to offer really resonated with the folks in Berkeley and the community, the overall community, especially the student community.
Yeah,
I think.
Of course.
And that began to sort of grow larger and larger as time went by. And I think that's how success became.
How long did it take for that shop to actually go into the black? How long did it take to make some money?
5 months.
5 months? Everyone said, whoa. And then did that blow your mind yourself?
It did. We did not expect that.
5 months, because you owned other retail locations. And how long did you take those other locations to make money? It took a lot longer.
Yes.
5 months.
5 months.
So in that 5 months, did you all as a family again go, we're going to have to open another one?
No. Actually, we the first decision that we made based on the heavy traffic that we were encountering, which is very positive. It was a problem for us, but a very positive problem, is that we began to think about hiring a crew, a staff to help us out.
Outside the family.
Absolutely. And so that's when we began to recruit folks to become part of the cream team.
The cream team.
That is correct.
I might rebrand that, but okay. As you're now going on to your 13th, are you seeing the same type of progression? Now, understand, these are yours, right? Are these all your creams? No. How many of these are franchise?
11 are franchise
11.
And 2 are company owned.
Company owned.
Correct.
Are the other franchises celebrating as the type of success the company's celebrating with the local creams? Because I know as a franchise, you everything's a different experience for different owners, okay? And you can't guarantee anything other than what the franchise owners puts in and the location and timing and all that things. But are they seeing good upsides like you're seeing on the corporate stores?
Well, let me put it this way. We had one franchisee in the San Jose metro area.
San Jose,
downtown San Jose. Mm-hmm. After about 5 months of operating, he decided to purchase the rights for the whole Santa Clara County.
Wow.
And he wanted to open 5 more creams in Santa Clara County.
Okay, so if money was not an issue and you could go off and open up creams all over the place, what other places throughout the United States would you like to open up other creams?
I'd love to be in in Arizona, Boston, all the sea,
Boston.
The eastern seaboard.
They don't want anything with the word ice in it right now.
Well, true. But you know, on that note, you know that the East Coast, especially in the Boston Northeast, is the biggest ice cream consuming section of the country.
Is that part?
That's what I read. Yes.
Wow. All right.
So somebody's got to take advantage of that. We'd like to.
You've been doing this 5 years. It's not that long. Okay.
Yes.
Are you a different business person, entrepreneur now after owning this business than you were prior?
I am. Absolutely.
How are you different?
Well, I am more humbled, if you will, because in my mind, I thought I knew it all.
Right.
Before I started this business.
Really?
But I discovered that if you begin with that mindset that you know everything, then you're losing great opportunities to develop and progress and move forward. So I've learned that and I've begun to employ that and begun to learn and add on to the learnings that I was experiencing almost day to day. And I feel that that's significant to the growth.
Jimmy Shamir is joining us. He is the co-founder, CEO of Cream, and it's creamnation.com. On their website, you can see this menu. So if I throw out something on the menu, if I make something up, you'll know if it's not there. So if I make up a fake flavor, do you think you can tell me what is real and what's not? Do you think you could?
I think so.
You think so?
Absolutely.
So let me just let's just try this out real quick. Toasted almond, real or not real?
Real.
Cream cheese cookie.
No, not real.
That's right. It's called actually cookies and cream. Let's go with cinnamon chill.
Yes, that's
what is
real.
that?
That's a great ice cream flavor. It's fantastic. It has the cinnamon flavor and it has a salty little bit of a flavor and it's fantastic.
Green tea mint.
Yes.
No, it's not. I got you on one. You have green tea.
Green tea. I'm sorry.
I wanted
chocolate.
to stump you on one.
You stumped me. You did.
So, but I'm looking. You got soy. You got you on that one. Yeah, green tea would be pretty good, by the way. Just want to let you know. Vegan, everything. This is the most intense menu when it comes to ice cream. I would never think anybody would come up with this. How often you are adding new flavors? like green pea mint.
We add flavors seasonally, and we also add a flavor when we feel it's warranted, because we want to keep our ice cream flavors fresh and appealing to our customers.
I'll tell you what I don't see on here. I don't see any pumpkin.
Pumpkin is actually a seasonal flavor that we do have.
Oh, do you?
And it's a fantastic pumpkin.
It is.
Absolutely.
I want pumpkin.
And then we have an eggnog flavor as well. And that's introduced
pumpkin
in the
eggnog might
fall.
be even interesting. But you can't do that. That's the beauty. You can mix everything.
You could customize, and that's what cream is about. Customizing a handcrafted sandwich as per your likings.
And you're saying it's economically affordable. What's the sandwich cost you?
$2.99.
So $3 for someone to go in there.
Correct.
And the college environment and the sporting environment is actually a good place. Are you trying to find your locations near some type of university or college or some type of sporting arena?
Well, we think that the younger crowd, the younger demographics are a positive fit for our product, but our product actually appeals to everybody from 4 to 94.
Yeah.
And to the mature crowd, it just brings out the kid in them, and they really enjoy that, and they love it. And the kids enjoy the toppings and the flavors.
So as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, do you look at the business space out there? Do you admire any entrepreneurs that are out there where you go, I like what they're doing? Is there anyone out there that you admire as an entrepreneur?
I admire two people.
Who's that?
One is my father, and the second is Carlos Slim.
Yeah, Carlos Slim, sure. Why your father?
My father had to endure a lot of challenges coming to the U.S., immigrating. It's really the
coming
American,
with nothing?
Coming with nothing.
And then building
something for his family. And it's really the American dream, the American story, if you will.
And then Carlos Slim?
And I admire that. Carlos Slim just fascinates me. He's a smart businessman. He's able to be flexible and agile on his ventures, and I just love that about him.
Our listeners are throughout the entire country. When they come either to Vegas right now or to anywhere in California, they got to go to creamnation.com, right, Jimmy?
Absolutely.
What's your favorite flavor this week?
I am a classic kind of guy, so I go with chocolate chip and vanilla.
Just simple. That's
classic.
It. Jimmy, I appreciate you sharing time with us. Thank
you very much, Ken.
Congratulations.
It was a pleasure.
And we'll see these things grow throughout the nation. You want to find out more about getting a franchise, which you should look into. Go to creamnation.com, all the information regarding franchises. And also, if you want catering, they do catering. How about that? Getting cream at your party. You want to do that. And when we come back, Rigor Markel helps us understand what it takes to stay on top of all the search engines. I'm Ken Rakowski, and you're listening to Business Rockstars.
Few may know of Willie Woods and the Montford Point Marines, but this group of black Marines in World War II showed the nation their fighting spirit and led to the desegregation of the Corps.
The Montford Point Marines, it was set up more or less as an experiment. This is what opened up the Marine Corps.
At the American Veterans Center, we preserve and protect our veterans' legacy, but it's up to you to keep it alive. For more information on the Montford Point Marines, visit AmericanVeteransCenter.org.
We are perfectionists. We do it right and don't stop until the job is done. We build commercial zero-turn mowers with maneuverability, power, and comfort. Who are we? We are Kubota. Now, during our More Power to You sales event, you can get long-term financing as low as 0% APR on new commercial-grade Z700 series mowers.
For more information or to find a participating dealer, go to Kubota.com.
2 little tablets is all it takes to get thicker, fuller hair guaranteed. Viviscal is the #1 drug-free hair growth supplement in the U.S. It's clinically proven, loved by celebrities, and recommended by doctors. Want to try Viviscal? Every listener that calls can try it risk-free for 90 days, plus free shipping. Get thicker, fuller hair guaranteed. Call now, 800-961-6924. 800-961-6924. That's 800-961-6924.
This is Rick Ossick, president of Famous Footwear. Our company is working together with the March of Dimes through March for Babies to raise money and awareness about the serious problem of premature birth in the U.S. As a business leader, I know that babies born very sick or too soon cost businesses billions of dollars each year, in addition to the emotional stress on employees and their families. That's why Famous Footwear is committed to raising funds to improve the health of moms and babies everywhere. Won't you please join us in the March for Babies? Start a team today at marchforbabies.org.
And now, the Lens of Liberty. Here is Helen Kriebel.
Early this year, the Federal Communications Commission issued a proposal to place government monitors in newsrooms around the country, supposedly to monitor news coverage and study why reporters choose to cover certain stories and not others. The public reaction was fierce and immediate. People across the country looked through the lens of liberty and realized what a terrible threat to freedom that was. An independent and free press is one of America's first freedoms because the people have a right to know what their government is up to. Americans don't believe in censorship, and even the smallest hint of government control of the free press had to be resisted immediately. That is exactly what happened. The FCC was forced to withdraw the plan. That proves once again the power of public opinion in a democratic republic, that in America, the people still rule.
For more information, go to lensofliberty.org. That's lensofliberty.org.
Another money-saving secret from Arm & Hammer.
My name is Malena. I'm from Los Angeles, California. I love Arm & Hammer Sensitive Skin Plus Scent laundry detergent. It cleans really well. It doesn't irritate my skin, and it smells wonderful.
Arm & Hammer Sensitive Skin Plus Scent has a skin-friendly scent people love, so it's preferred 2-to-1 over the leading free and clear detergent, and it costs up to 30% less.
We've been on a very tight budget lately, so it's a no-brainer.
The clean you need at a fraction of the cost.
What do you do with savory Johnsonville Italian sausage?
Well, I turn regular pasta into Mom's famous rigatoni sausage.
I turn plain pasta into Uncle Charlie's world-renowned baked ziti.
With Johnsonville, I make Judy's legendary spaghetti and meatballs.
Create your world-famous pasta dish. Pick up Johnsonville Italian sausage in lengths or ground and bring sizzle to pasta night.
This is Business Rockstars, where we introduce you to the rock stars of the business world, so you can become a rock star too.
One of the co-founders of Twitter, that's Jack Dorsey, says every detail needs to be perfect. Everything needs to be right. Oh, wait a second. Your perfect thing needs to be your passion, and that's the most important. I'm with him on that. Passion's it. Ken Rakowski, Business Rockstars, from starting to growing to funding your passion is something that's real and sustainable. I love the idea of the word passion. Passion is all around the idea of what's in your heart will lead you. By the way, our website's businessrockstars.com. See what's happening in the studio. A little later on today, we have Brett King, a friend of mine, an Aussie, Australian's written several books on what's going on in the banking industry. Number one book, by the way, in the banking industry, helping banks know what it takes to connect with people again. I'm not sure, last time you went to a bank, they're trying to be so highly customer service now, right? They want to give you, it almost feels like an Uber experience. They want to give you water. They kind of want to talk to you. They want to know what's going on, why you don't bank with them. I think it's fascinating. And Brett King's going to join us. We also are going to have Greg. Is that McPherson? Yeah, Greg McPherson, who's the co-founder of Banjo. And, well, this company is all around the idea of just luxury clothes. I like that. Luxury lifestyle. Banjo and Matilda. So we'll find out more about that. All right. So I do want to go back to this idea of, because I just got a few emails while people were listening pertaining to networking groups, and they were challenging me regarding, what is YPO? Isn't that a networking group? How about EO or Vistage or Toastmasters? And first, I'm going to say, yeah, there is a clear delineation between different types of quote unquote networking groups. But instead of challenging each one of those, how about if I just help you create one yourself? Okay? And you could call it a networking group. I would rather create it a relationship group. But I'm going to help you do this. I've done this in the past. It's a very simple formula, and it works over and over again. And the groups to which I have created over the last, say, 2 decades, they still meet. They still work together. They still help each other out. Okay, so simple formula. I'm going to help you create your own relationship group. And it's not hard to do. It's just something you have to do consistent, and you have to be predictable about it. Okay? Now, understand also that there is a difference between a group just to hang and a group that's going to allow each other to grow and get business opportunities out of it, okay? So let's focus on a networking group that will grow into a relationship group. Let's focus on that. Now, what I've learned is people all love predictable, consistent schedules. We agree with that. Don't you hate when you go to the dentist's office and you have to wait an extra hour because they're running late? Or if you, hey, I'm going to be there at 10 and they go, fine, we'll be ready about 10:15, 10:30. Oh, make it 11. You just get frustrated. So any type of event that you do, you got to start on time. You have to be predictable. So I like picking days like Tuesdays. I like picking mornings. I like to go somewhere where it's easy to get and there's easy parking and they're not a problem when it comes to if you stay too long. So I like things like Denny's or IHOP or anything that has a back room that you can use. Denny's was the perfect solution for me where I'm from, Southside Chicago, because you didn't really need to buy anything other than a cup of coffee. So the price of admission is fairly inexpensive. When you start a networking group or a relationship group, you can't create gigantic barriers of entry. And one of those is expense. Because if you want to get in there and get the young entrepreneur in, somebody that's in startup mode, they're not going to be able to afford something that is $30, $40, $50. Like, for example, TED, the big TED conference, which just concluded, that was almost $9,000 to go to. Or the Milken conference, which is $15,000 to go to. You're not going to be able to get that good startup mojo going. So doing an environment, let's say Tuesday morning, it's like a coffee clutching, let's get together, let's talk about some problems or issues or opportunities or solutions. And you make it every Tuesday. Every Tuesday. This is important because people go, well, why not make it every other Tuesday? Because you're not going to be able to get the same process of everybody else. You're just not. Okay? So what I want you to do is this. I want you to pick a day of the week, pick a location like I mentioned earlier. Location could be something like a Denny's, and create an agenda. And the agenda could be something that really would talk to the group you're trying to bring together. Now, if we're focusing on young entrepreneurs or people that are just starting off, talk about those topics that are generally really on the minds that they may not be aware of. And that could be areas of getting funding, maybe certain legal things they may not be aware of, maybe some accounting maneuvers that could help them save some money, or maybe where the government, from the mayor to different organizations inside the government could help out startups. And you feature them once a week as a speaker. I started off in this place called Orland Park, Illinois. I was able to get the mayor when I started this, the mayor of my local town. He spoke. And then also to build a really good networking / relationship organization, you have to be very specific on who you invite. Don't invite the world. Small in quality is better than large in quantity. So handpick 10 people that are non-competitive towards one another. Don't have 2 attorneys and 2 accountants and 2 car mechanics. No. One of each. You handpick them. So as they come together, they see themselves growing by bringing other people that are non-competitive. And you build a really good infrastructure of people not competing, but helping. I like co-opetition, where people are cooperating and they have competition. But I like it to where it at least starts off where there's a good fabric of everybody helping each other out in a non-competitive business environment. If you do this once a week consistently at a location like I mentioned earlier, making it so the cost of time is the biggest issue, not the cost of money. You do this for 6 months. You're rolling your eyes going, 6 months, 24 weeks. Watch what happens. Watch how that community will grow together. And you will see the networking being pushed aside and the relationship being brought in more and more and more. You want to focus on that. I also want to focus on the idea of you getting our newsletter, businessrockstars.com. Sign up. You get that in your email box. Almost 300,000 people getting it every other day. When we come back, we'll talk about just, the decadence of life and also banking, all that's happening right here on Business Rockstars.
Finally, there's a lightweight cat litter that doesn't act lightweight. It's new Arm & Hammer Clump and Seal Lightweight.
My name is Erin, and I'm a professional pet sitter. I deal with cat litter all day. Clump and Seal Lightweight is amazing on odor. It's super easy to carry, and there's absolutely no dust.
No other litter seals and destroys odor and is 50% lighter than our regular litter and 100% dust-free.
It changed how I feel about a lightweight litter. I would recommend it to my friends and my clients.
Get 7-day odor control and no dust in new Arm & Hammer Clump and Seal Lightweight.
Like the taste of fresh apples? Try an Angry Orchard hard cider. At Angry Orchard, we believe in tradition. That's why we use apples from a 100-year-old orchard. It takes 2 apples to make each bottle of Angry Orchard. So raise a glass to a time when apples were best served in a pint glass. Angry Orchard, when you're looking for something a little different. Crisp, refreshing, and not too sweet. Just like me. Angry Orchard hard cider. Branch out.
Angry Orchard Cider Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Drink responsibly.
Fox News Radio, I'm Carol McHugh. After an overnight tweet to supporters, Texas GOP Senator Ted Cruz is formally announcing this morning that he's entering the 2016 presidential race. Cruz at Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia, talking about the American dream.
So many fear that promise is today unattainable. So many fear it is slipping away from our hands.
Cruz is the first big-name candidate to officially announce a run for the White House. The call has gone out from ISIS to its lone wolf followers: kill American service members.
An ISIS-linked group posted a hit list online with the names and addresses of 100 service members, calling itself the Islamic State Hacking Division. The group calls on sympathizers in the U.S. to take the final step and deal with the people on the list.
Fox News Radio's Rachel Sutherland. Home sales rose a modest 1.2% last month. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Geico presents Fan Mail to a Pig.
Dear Maxwell, I just want to say thank you for making my Geico Insurance ID card digital. It's easy to find on the app. It doesn't give me paper cuts, and I always have it on hand because it's on my phone. Because of this, I finally cleaned out my glove box, which was filled with years of paper ID cards. Any thought on what I should put in my glove box now? Sincerely, Trent Patterson. Trent, what can you put in the glove box? Here's a crazy thought. How about gloves?
Digital insurance ID cards, just a tap away on the Geico app.
You're running your business, and we at Wix.com know things can get stressful. But creating your website doesn't have to be. With Wix, you can create a professional website all by yourself. It's easy and free. You don't have to be a programmer. Just drag and drop everything into place. It's your website, your style. Show the world what you can do. Go to Wix.com and create your own stunning website today. It's easy and free.
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. At a recent meeting of the American Peanut Shellers Association, Luke Clearman paid tribute to Daryl Buxton, director of the Alabama Federal State Inspection Service. Daryl is retiring from the service after 40 years. Daryl began his inspection career in August of 1973 and worked over the state training in all areas of the inspection service. He was promoted to the supervisor in Opp, Alabama office in 1987. His dedication and hard work resulting in his promotion as assistant director in Alabama in 1993, and then later as the director of Shipping Point Inspection by Commissioner Jack Thompson in 1998. He has served as president of the American Fruit and Vegetable Inspection Standardization Association and other positions with the peanut and grain industry. Congratulations, and a special presentation was made to Daryl Buxton after retiring from 40 years from the Federal State Inspection Service.
Can we bring it back, Doctor?
Yes, but we have to keep it covered, Igor.
Understood, Doctor.
And be sure to keep living roots in it throughout the year with diverse plants and rotations. And remember, do not disturb it.
Are you mad, Doctor?
No, just a little upset. I don't like to see soil treated like dirt.
Learn more about the basics and benefits of soil health. Contact your local USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service office today.
Coming up Saturday, March the 28th in Blakely will be the Peanut Proud Festival, the big celebration in Blakely. Greg Bates of Nashville, Tennessee will headline the entertainment stars. There'll be a lot of them on hand all day long. All that is part of the Peanut Proud Festival coming up around Blakely, Georgia at the Courthouse Square. If you want to find out what's happening in other ag news stories, we invite you to log on to our website at www.southeastagnet.com. I'm Tyron Spearman for Southeast AgNet.
A lot of people think I'm superstitious. I never step on cracks. I never keep black cats on the ranch. I never open umbrellas indoors, not even in the barn. And I never let a young calf go unvaccinated. Because young calves are up against a whole lot more than you think. And I'm not just talking about bad luck, but stuff that even their mama's milk can't protect them from in the long run. Like BVD type 1B, the most common subtype of BVD in infected calves. That's why I vaccinate them with Pyramid 5 Plus Pre-Sponse SQ. It's the only approved combination vaccine that protects calves from BVD type 1B respiratory disease for at least 217 days. Plus, its viral and bacterial protection shields the unluckiest of calves. Even my doomed number 13 calf. Talk with your Beringer Ingelheim Vetmedica Inc. representative today. Learn more at bi-vetmedica.com/cattle.
But wait, Lachey has also agreed to represent Peanut Butter Right Twix and will star in video and print ads that showcase his love of Peanut Butter Right Twix. Here's peanut butter lover Nick Lachey.
I originally agreed to be the spokesperson for Peanut Butter Left Twix because I'm a big fan of the rich, creamy peanut butter and crunchy cookie smothered in chocolate. So it was a bit strange to also get a call from Peanut Butter Right Twix, but it actually makes perfect sense since I love its smooth, velvety peanut butter and crunchy cookies smothered in chocolate.
Check out the Twix YouTube channel to view the new videos and pick your side of Peanut Butter Twix. I'm Risa Jill Miller.
This is Business Rockstars, where we introduce you to the rock stars of the business world, so you can become a rock star too.
Tony Hsieh, who's the founder of Zappos, sold his business for over $1 billion to Amazon.com. He says, hey, chase the vision, not the money. The money will end up following you. It will. I'm Ken Rakowski. I'm what's referred to as a super connector. My purpose in life is to connect people around the world, find out what they need, and I find a way to fit somebody else in there that fixes, helps what they can do to get better. That's what I do all the time, and I do it out of reflexes. It's just something I do all the time. I brought together almost $1.5 billion to almost $2 billion in deal flow just our last year alone. So that's all I do. BusinessRockstars.com is our website. See what's happening in the studio, and that's what I do here too. I bring you people from around the world that are doing amazing things, and they are the business rock stars. And I love to know about the business rock stars in your town and your community. So just send me an email, Ken@BusinessRockstars.com. Make sure you sign up for our newsletter. We have a rockin' team. Our team here, from Charlie to Rollo. I think next week I'm going to tell you about the new guy. I think I'm actually going to say his name next week, so you're going to have to find out who that is. He's endured, I guess, the hazing process of what happens here in the production. Yeah? Are you going to be here next week? Will you exist? Yeah, okay. Then next week you'll find out who that is. And Bridget and Brittany, they bring great people on the show. You want to find out anything out about the show, just go to businessrockstars.com. So we'll talk about the idea of, the high end. The high end. When you want something that just looks masterful and it's beautiful, things like cashmere and all that. I mean, very high end. How do you sell products in a high end market? And Ben McPherson's going to join us. He is the co-founder of Banjo and Matilda. He'll be joining us in studio. And then also later on, Brett King, who really wrote the book, actually 3 of them on the whole banking industry, will join us and give us some inside tips and things that are going on in the banking world. Got all that? Good. I'm happy we're going to be doing that together. BusinessRockstars.com. Aline Munez, who is part of the international management over at the Market and Styles of Andis Corporation, is talking about the whole idea of really being true to your customer, how to make sure your customer is at the top side of your priorities.
My advice for entrepreneurs is, first thing, be there for your customers. No matter what time or day, be there, because they're your bread and butter. They're the reason that you're going to stay in business.
Yeah, she's right. Bread and butter. Yeah, what's your product? Well, our product is this. Who's your customer? Your customer is whatever your product is they want to buy it. Kind of like people say, customers, they're not the smartest things. They don't know what they want. Really? Yeah, they do, because if they don't buy it, that means they don't want it. You are what they need, and they will buy it. So if you are not focusing on their needs, forget about it. It's not going to happen. I love going to really, really nice customer-focused stores and franchises. Like, for example, Ritz-Carlton or the Four Seasons or something that is really at the high end. They understand that the customer experience is paramount, because anyone can go to a nice hotel. And as a matter of fact, there's a lot of other hotels that are a fraction of the cost, just as comfortable in some cases, but the customer service is not there. You don't feel like you're royalty, because I believe when you go to a hotel, you want to escape where you're from. You don't want to stay in a place that looks just like your place in most cases. So if you're not treated like royalty, okay. Well, I want to feel like I'm treated like royalty anytime I hand over my money to somebody else. Hey, I've earned this. I've worked really hard to get this in my pocket. I'm about to take it out of my ownership and give it to you in exchange for what? That product? Yeah, that product, but that service, that customer service. Did you meet my needs? Did you make me feel like I'm royalty? I know it sounds kind of pompous, but that's the way we have to think as entrepreneurs. We have to make sure that customer experience is so powerful on the other side that they can't stop talking about you. So you must meet that individual or that buyer's need. You got to make sure you listen to them. Let me tell you what's wrong with your product. Oh, no. Okay, I'm listening. I got to, because you're my customer. You got to tell the truth. In the world of social media, transparency is at the highest level of everything now. And if you're not 100% accurate, you're going to get slapped. Oh, you're going to get digitally slapped, because somebody is going to post something about you. They're going to show where you're not factual. And this is not just in politics, but it's in products, it's in people, it's in everything now. Transparency is one of the most important things you have to do. If you don't put it on your label, somebody will label you with what's not on your label. Does it make sense? So you got to tell the truth. You got to pay attention to social media. I'm really impressed, again, when I look at nice hotels. I love nice hotels. It's one of those luxuries that if I could somehow use some points that I have or whatever I can use to go to one of these nice hotels, I am so impressed on, like, for example, Ritz-Carlton. I love the Ritz-Carlton in Jakarta. There's two of them in Jakarta, Indonesia. And the one that I like to stay at, before even getting there, they realize, oh, wow, Ken's coming out here. They send me a nice letter. Then they go on social media and they look at what's going on in my life in social media. I mean, this is where detail really matters. So when I check in, they already kind of know what's been going on with me in my life based upon social media posts. So they use social media just not as an out message where they're announcing what's going on. They use it as a research tool for their customers. Whew. And then when I'm done, they do the same thing. They want to make sure the experience is great. They send stuff. I can't wait to go back there, because I know they want me because, there's some type of exchange of points or money, but they make me feel like I'm part of the family. That is so important for you to do also. Pay attention to social media. Pay attention on both sides. Don't just you being the poster and the one that's getting stuff on social media, but use it to study who your customer and client is. Everyone uses it wrong. I've noticed this. Everyone says, hey, hello, I'm here on social media. Listen to me. Watch, look at my post. Hey, like this, poke this, forward this. How about if you go off and look at what everybody else is social posting and talking about? Use it as a voyeuristic tool. Got it? I want us all to somehow have that easy button in our office or at our store or in our business. So when someone walks in, they press the easy button, because that's one of the biggest problems when it comes to business, and that is it's just too complicated, too complex. There's too many steps or hurdles. Got to talk to this person, we'll get you to this person. I have to press 1 here. I have to press number 3 here. Yes, I need to hear it in English. Way too many steps. Why can't you just look at my caller ID, know that I called before, and this is the presets that I like in the first place? I don't know, it seems pretty obvious to me. Make business easier. And a lot of times the biggest problem is you, the entrepreneur, the business owner, you may have hired the wrong person. I see this happen over and over again. Yeah, I brought in my family. Well, is your family the right people for that business? Our last rock star, obviously, at Cream, and family's really working well. That's great. But a lot of times, maybe your brother or sister or cousin or maybe mom and dad are the wrong ones. Maybe they're so bad that they scare people off. Why don't you go off on Yelp and see what your family reviews are? That might be kind of scary. I have a family member that owns a store, and they got horrible reviews on Yelp, and they won't listen to me. It's like, you got to fire your mother who runs it, because that's the problem. Sometimes it's the wrong people that are running or you've hired in the business. Next, I want to make sure you provide always the proper training. The proper training. You got to provide the right training so people feel like they know what's going on and what is going on in the future. Training just doesn't stop after the first training class. It's an ongoing process. See, these are the things that you want as a customer. So why don't you provide it to your customers, your clients, your potential customers? It sounds so simple because I know you want this, but you're sitting on the other side going, oh boy, Ken, you're talking about so many steps. An easy button, hire the right people, use social media, not just me posting, but me watching social media. All of these steps are just archaic. No, they're necessary. You know, got to build positive interaction. You got to create a customer-focused culture with your team. I mean, all these things are what Apple does. Apple's great at doing this. You know, when Steve Jobs was alive, if you would post something somewhere, he would find a way to repost it or retweet it. He did those things. Steve Jobs, if he lived today, he would just be as active on social media as your friends would. He would actually be part of what's going on because he felt like he always had to still touch the customer. Apple's it, man. That's the brand for me. I like it. Rich Carlton's it too. How about this idea of having a high-end product? How do you go off and find your customers, get people to buy from you and continue to buy? The co-founder of Banjo and Matilda is going to join us. I'm Ken Rakowski, and you're listening to Business Rockstars.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
To get your free inventors information, call 1-800-351-9603. That's 1-800-351-9603. Again, 1-800-351-9603.
This is your Daily High, and I'm Andy Greenberg. Have you heard of the Titanic? Have you heard of the Ark? Well, of course you have, but I don't think you've heard of this. An amateur built the Ark. Professionals built the Titanic. Now, can you imagine these two accomplishments? One failed, one succeeded. But here's something that you can adopt to you and your life. Never be afraid to try something, especially if you are an amateur. Because quite frankly, you can build the Ark where the professionals in your field build a Titanic. It gives you the opportunity to expand. It gives you the opportunity to create. It gives you the opportunity to try something that's absolutely brand new. So what I want you to think about doing is I want you to take an amateur skill of your own. And I want you to take that and build something powerful, build a legacy, and then sit back and say, hey, I was an amateur and I did it. This is Andy Greenberg. Enjoy your Daily High.
The Leukemia Lymphoma Society is a proud production supporter of Ken Burns Presents Cancer, the Emperor of All Maladies, a film by Barack Goodman, a vivid account of how far we've come in the fight against cancer. Dr. Luis De Janeiro, President and CEO of LLS, the world's largest voluntary health organization dedicated to blood cancer cures.
We're especially gratified that this documentary showcases treatment advances pioneered by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, such as groundbreaking work in targeted therapies for certain forms of leukemia. Each day, new treatments are extending patients' lives not by days or weeks, but by decades, with survival rates doubling, tripling, and even quadrupling for some patients since the early 1960s. We can't prevent or screen for most blood cancers, so until there is a cure, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society will continue to fund promising research from bench to bedside.
The film airs on PBS stations nationwide from March 30th through April 1st. To learn more, visit lls.org.
Attention hip implant patients. Are you in constant pain? Have you received a letter from your doctor about your implant? Have you had or need a revision surgery? Do you have high levels of metal, chromium, or cobalt in your blood? Over 90,000 hip implant devices have been recalled due to defects and failures resulting in revision or replacement surgery. If you have a recalled hip implant, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-251-7823 to see if your implant is affected by the recalls. If you or a loved one has a defective or recalled hip implant, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-251-7823. That's 800-251-7823. Protect your legal rights today. Call 800-251-7823.
This is an advertisement, not valid in all states. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. iLawsuit.com is an advertising group that represents lawyers advertising their services and is a free matching service for consumers. It is not a law firm or lawyer referral service.
This is Business Rockstars. Starting a business, finding the money, what you need to know to become a rock star entrepreneur.
So one of my favorite entrepreneurs is Jeff Bezos. You know, he was probably one of the worst economic situations that most people probably don't go through. He went through personal bankruptcy 3 times and he recovered. If you looked at Jeff Bezos on paper during this time, people would say there's no way I'm going to make an investment in this guy. But he's recovered over and over again. And he looked at the idea of teams and he said, if you can't feed your team with 2 pizzas, your team's too big. I'm Ken Rogalski. It's Business Rockstars. Every single day we bring you rock stars from around the planet that are doing something amazing, and we learn from them how to do it, from starting to growing to funding. Your passion is something sustainable and real. Want to know about the rock stars in your town, your community? Drop me an email, ken@businessrockstars.com. Ben McPherson is joining us. He is the co-founder of Banjo and Matilda. What is Banjo and Matilda?
We're an Australian premium lifestyle brand.
Will you get a little more excited about this?
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay, good.
Come on.
We're an Aussie lifestyle.
There you go.
Premium brand, and we're really famous for our knitwear, our cashmere knitwear.
So, rules. What's your favorite team?
Hawthorn, actually.
I just want to see. You got to get laid back. Come on. So you're now in the States. You just moved out here a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
You've been spending time in Australia. What's the big difference between Australia and the United States so far for you?
It's just it's a big positive market. People are open to business, and it's been a very productive sort of market here. You can get things done. Whereas in Australia, it's a little smaller, it's a little tougher, a little tighter.
But don't you love watching politics back in Australia?
No,
it's kind of like a comedy game, right?
It is a little bit, yeah. It is, yeah.
So you're here now. You have a very interesting business. Yeah. This is on the high side of life, right? I mean, this is generally most of us can't afford the stuff you have.
Well, I mean, not quite. I mean, our average price point's about $300 to $500, and we're in the apparel sector. And you know what? We're comparable to a lot of other really big businesses, Vince, Michael Kors, all of those guys. So
great stuff.
It is upper demographic, but it's aspirational for people who are a little bit lower, and it's people who typically buy luxury, whether it be Hermes or one of those brands, they buy down a little bit. So it's a sweet spot.
I like what you have.
Yeah.
I went through the site. I looked at the site. I was trying to look for a brick and mortar.
Yeah.
Brick and mortar anywhere?
Yeah, we've got one store in Australia, but it's really our head office, and it's a showroom, and it just helps us keep in touch with the customers.
But this is really an online play, isn't it?
It's wholesale and online. So we're stocked in major retailers like Neiman Marcus and Net-a-Porter, Shopbop, and a number of US retailers here.
Tell me about the retail market right now. Do you think it's fiercely competitive being in the space you're in, or do you think you've really sliced out something that really makes you identify as unique?
Well, I think if you're generally talking about retail, it's a very competitive market. But fashion is $1 trillion business, so yeah, it's huge. So if you find a niche, if you find something that really resonates with customers or consumers, you can create a monstrous business. I mean, most of our peers are $1 billion businesses. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And where's your focus? What type of apparel?
So premium contemporary, which is a segment in the market where essentially it's about not necessarily having a big luxury brand. It's about having a brand that's got authenticity, that's unique, that's got creativity, but delivers a really good product for a price.
Explain Banjo Matilda.
Yeah. So we're an Australian label that was started 7 years ago. And we had this vision of taking a sort of an Australian luxury product to an international market, but doing it in an Australian way, which is like really relaxed, cool, casual, but really premium.
Right.
So we've become really famous for our knitwear, our cashmere knitwear. And if you ask around, people say, oh yeah, those guys do the coolest cashmere sweaters.
That's kind of nice to have,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, it is, yeah. And now we're expanding into other product lines, dresses and pants and other things.
It's kind of interesting because most people don't realize, I mean, I spent time in Australia. I hate to say this, Crocodile Dundee is really what just a lot of people put Australia on the map of the United States.
Yeah.
It's horrible to say this, okay?
Yeah.
We've all celebrated our independence around the same amount of time.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
And Crocodile Dundee is not the right representation of Australia.
Definitely not. No.
Right?
No, it's
a cosmopolitan. Matter of fact, I would say, I know you're a Sydney guy, but Melbourne is a very cosmopolitan city.
Very much so.
I would say there's better restaurants there, but they would fight that and argue in Sydney.
No. It's true, actually. They've got better food in Melbourne. There's disadvantages of Melbourne, and I can have that argument with you.
It's weather. It's easy. I can tell you what it is right away. But it's a very, very cosmopolitan environment. Yeah. It's just a lot of people don't go there. Tell me about some of the fashion trends that are happening in Australia that we don't see anywhere else in the world.
Well, I think there's we have a term called new luxury. Mm-hmm. And new luxury is where people value, they're not buying things that are ostentatious. What they're doing is they're investing in the quality of life. So time is a very precious commodity. That's part of the new luxury movement. Yeah. Relaxation, health. So Australia is this tropical, beautiful, pristine, safe island on the bottom of the planet, but it's incredibly wealthy. So the lifestyle there is unbelievable. So that's a trend that's through the Australian industry, which is this relaxed, contemporary, but really high quality clothing, and we're starting to get a lot of traction internationally. So there's a number of Australian brands that are really, really making their mark in international markets now.
Ben McPherson is joining us. But Ben, don't you also feel that the Asian market is probably a larger market opportunity since it's so much closer to than coming over the States?
Look, you've got to have the right product. Yeah. And I mean, now what's happening is there's a second generation of consumers that have lived in the cities, so the younger generation coming up, and they're a little bit more, their tastes are a bit more aligned with Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah, okay.
So, products that typically wouldn't have worked 10 years ago in China that are Northern Hemisphere products are now starting to work in China. And the whole luxury boom where they bought labels for, brand name, aspirational, stepped themselves up, that's now depleting.
It
because
is?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, so the consumers are becoming more sophisticated. There's a lot of money in China too.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, I'm just in Singapore, and you probably have been in Singapore. Some of the most upscale hotels, but stores are there too. The Chinese, the Hong Kong, and Macau, they're all buying these products. I'm just wondering, you came over to the States. Why did you come over here where Asia's, a hop, skip, and a jump.
Well, I think one of the things is that, America, Europe are still the sort of opinion leaders. They're where you can create a great brand, and then it's looked upon globally. And in fact, Asia then buys into that after the fact, right?
Oh, you think that's what it is?
Very much so, yeah.
So the Western side kind of leads the trends and everybody else follows.
It does. It's just the way it works.
And that's okay then.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is I want to talk about something called the tall poppy syndrome.
Right.
Do you mind?
Yeah, no.
I know the reason why I want to bring this up.
Having lived in Australia, I know you know about this.
It's actually something I think does not allow a lot of great entrepreneurship happen in Australia because of it.
Yeah,
do you agree with me on this?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, very much so.
So how do you define the tall poppy syndrome?
Well, I think, in Australia we have this very socialist environment. I mean, I hate to say it, but, we're supported by the government. You don't have a job in Australia, you go surfing. We've got this great, health system. It's all awesome. But, if you try and succeed or you stick your head up above the crowd, chances are you'll get it knocked off, right? And the thing is that when you do get it knocked off, they'll vilify you. But when you do stick it up, they don't celebrate, those successes. Where in America, what I found, and I lived here for some time a while ago, is that, I've seen people, they love and celebrate people who fail. It means that
failure's okay.
Failure's okay. You've got a richness to you. You've got experience. But in Australia, they really they love that whole
even you out.
That everyone's got to be the same because if you're doing too well, then that's not fair.
Yeah.
You're somehow taking my money.
Again, Rupert Murdoch has moved, right? Because he couldn't do that. Hey, when we come back, we'll talk about how you're building this brand, how you're getting the name out. Also, you're a publicly traded company.
Yes.
How people can get involved with your business then too if they wanted to invest, which is cool.
Yeah.
So I appreciate hanging out. When we come back, we'll find out more from Ben how to grow a brand in the fashion industry. Also, Brett King's going to join us. We'll find out what's going on with the banking industry. I'm Ken Rakowski, and you're listening to Business Rockstars.
Fox News Radio, I'm Carol McHugh. After an overnight tweet to supporters, Texas GOP Senator Ted Cruz is formally announcing this morning that he's entering the 2016 presidential race. Cruz at Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia, talking about the American dream.
So many fear that promise is today unattainable. So many fear it is slipping away from our hands.
Cruz is the first big-name candidate to officially announce a run for the White House. The call has gone out from ISIS to its lone wolf followers. Kill American service members.
An ISIS-linked group posted a hit list online with the names and addresses of 100 service members, calling itself the Islamic State Hacking Division. The group calls on sympathizers in the U.S. to take the final step and deal with the people on the list.
Fox News Radio's Rachel Sutherland. Home sales rose a modest 1.2% last month. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Geico presents Fan Mail to a Pig.
Dear Maxwell, I just want to say thank you for making my Geico Insurance ID card digital. It's easy to find on the app. It doesn't give me paper cuts, and I always have it on hand because it's on my phone. Because of this, I finally cleaned out my glove box, which was filled with years of paper ID cards. Any thought on what I should put in my glove box now? Sincerely, Trent Patterson. Trent, what can you put in the glove box? Here's a crazy thought. How about gloves?
Digital insurance ID cards, just a tap away on the Geico app.
You're running your business, and we at Wix.com know things can get stressful, but creating your website doesn't have to be. With Wix, you can create a professional website all by yourself. It's easy and free. You don't have to be a programmer. Just drag and drop everything into place. It's your website, your style. Show the world what you can do. Go to Wix.com and create your own stunning website today. It's easy and free.
Did you know that since the year 2000, almost 40% of new anti-cancer drugs were first approved for blood cancer patients and are being tested on patients with other cancers like lung, prostate, and breast? That's why the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society is a proud supporter of the new PBS series Ken Burns Presents Cancer, the Emperor of All Maladies, a film by Barrick Goodman. The film is a vivid account of the grim past of cancer and the promising future of cures like the research the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society funds to advance targeted therapies and immunotherapy drugs that save lives every day. And every day, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society continues funding research for patients. Stopping cancer not someday, but today. Text CURES to 80077 to learn more about our impact on cures. That's CURES to 80077. Message and data rates may apply.
Do you want to learn how to mask your identity to browse inappropriate websites and stream media while at the office?
Well, we can't help you with that. But among the many IT problems we solve, Barracuda's web security solutions keep online activity clean and ensure internet bandwidth performance. Reclaim your network, like 150,000 other businesses already have. To learn more about preventing web-based threats, visit barracuda.com/web.
General Steve Ritchie is our nation's only ace fighter pilot in Vietnam, but he had several near misses when he barely made it back home.
My first tour, I took a 37 millimeter through the right engine. It was armor piercing. It had been high explosive. The airplane would have blown up and I'd have flown into the ground. There's a time where I probably should have died, and I didn't.
The American Veterans Center protects the legacy and honors the sacrifice of America's veterans, but it's up to you to keep their story alive. To hear the rest of General Ritchie's story, go to AmericanVeteransCenter.org. That's AmericanVeteransCenter.org.
This is Business Rockstars, where we teach you what you need to know to become a rockstar entrepreneur.
So, ideas are easy, right? It's the implementation of the ideas that are hard. That's coming from Guy Kawasaki, who used to be the former fellow of Apple. Now, this guy travels around the country the world, giving keynote speeches all around the idea of how you get implementation done the right way. I'm Ken Rakowski, and this is Business Rockstars, from starting to growing to funding your passion is something that's real and sustainable. We're here to talk about it. Now, understand everything we do here on the show, we allow you to watch and check out anytime you want, from podcast to video. It's there. So make sure you go to the website, sign up for the newsletter. About 300,000 people every single day are getting the newsletter, so you should get it too. Ben McPherson's joining us. He's the co-founder, CEO. You didn't explain the title to me.
Banjo Matilda?
What is that?
Well, there's a famous Australian poet called Banjo Paterson, and his most famous song is called Waltzing Matilda. So it's just a great Australian,
It just sounds like, hey, that would make a good brand name.
Yeah, and we love it. In fact, no, what happened was my older sister said that nominated that my first son should be called Banjo. And I said, you know what, I'm not naming him Banjo, but we'll name the business
What
Banjo.
did you name your first son?
Xander, with an X.
That's pretty cool.
It's
actually.
a good name.
Thank God you knew
great.
Banjo.
Yeah, no, I think so. Well, that was what I thought at the time.
He would have been beaten up a lot.
Well, exactly. I said, honey, this guy, imagine him CEO of BHP. Can't be, it's not going to work, right?
So, was there other names that the brand could have been?
No.
Did anything else that was on the table?
No, we didn't think about anything else.
No?
That was it.
Are you pretty happy where the brand's gone?
Very.
Yeah?
Yeah, very. I think it's really carved out a niche. And the most important thing in the fashion space is just to find that niche and to really have a strong brand proposition. And once you've got that, it's like magic. It goes from there. Yeah.
So Trent McLean's on the show a lot. He is the former CEO of Liz Claiborne.
Right.
And he comes on the show a lot. And he says the biggest problem in the fashion industry is you have these ups and downs. So what you come out with, you may not hit the market at the right time.
Yeah.
Is this something that you deal with also?
Look, it is. But I think when I think the most important thing is that you've got some ups and downs, and you do not necessarily hit the mark every single time. But it's within a range. It's, within 20 or 30%, season to season. So as long as you're consistently year on year focusing on your product, and you're focusing on your market, and you're focusing on your brand DNA, you might get a little bit of that, but over time, you really, build a brand.
But you have to have a product. So having a product means you have to have inventory. Inventory means you have to have cash that's out.
Yeah.
That gets kind of tough after a while,
That's
doesn't
one
it?
of the toughest things of the apparel industry. About 70, it's funny, people think it's all about designing a nice, pair of pants, right? But it's not. Design and brand is very important, but it really is only about 30 to 40% of the business. 60 to 70% of the business is really the logistics, funding, supply chain. And you can't run one of these businesses until you've got that component right.
You can't.
But luckily, in the US particularly, because it's such a big industry, there's a lot of infrastructure that supports that. So if you've got the right partners, you can get that done. But you do need to focus a huge amount of time on that to get that platform in place to then make the brand and the product shine.
So when I say a brand that has a name attached to it, and that individual is the name, like Liz Claiborne I just mentioned. Is it easier to use a person as the center as opposed to having a brand like yours to where, you understand what I'm saying, right? Because then we can celebrate the designer or the person's name compared to the actual brand name.
Yeah, Ralph Lauren's the best example.
Is a great example, right? Kenneth Cole or all these, right? I'm just throwing names out.
Look, it's debatable. I mean, there's so many brands that have succeeded without having a person behind it. What the most important thing you've got to do though is get people to buy into the lifestyle. So it's very easy to put a person on the have the person sort of moniker and have people buy into their lifestyle. Ralph Lauren, again, the great example. But that being said, I mean, there's so many brands that have succeeded without doing that because not every brand needs to be a person's name. You've got to have, some differentiation in the market. So, we sort of found that, for us, it just made sense. We didn't kind of overthink it, and it's worked for us. But I think it can definitely work both ways.
Let's do this. I want to put 60 seconds on the clock. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. First thing that pops up in your head, that's what I want you to say.
Okay.
You got it?
Yep.
Okay. So we're going to do this. We got the co-founder, CEO of Banjo Matilda. That's Ben McPherson. 60 seconds on the clock. Let's go. Who's your favorite CEO?
Branson.
What was the last costume you wore?
Freddy Krueger from Halloween.
What's your favorite animal?
Dogs.
How many hours of sleep do you get a night?
About 6.
What's your favorite brand?
Apple.
If you had $1 million and money meant absolutely nothing, what would you spend that $1 million on?
Definitely charity to make myself feel better about myself.
If you could go anywhere in the world right now, where would you go?
I think it'd be South America. I'm keen to spend more time there and get to understand it better.
What was the worst thing you did in high school?
I set my teacher's locker on fire.
Right, I like that, right?
Good.
First thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
Go for a run, actually. Yeah.
If there's one word that could describe you, what would that be?
Persistent.
There you go. I like that a lot. Okay, let's first go with Richard. I want to change his name for a second.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to call him Richard Brandston.
Yeah.
Okay?
Good idea.
It's all about branding for him, right?
It is, yeah.
Is that why you admire him?
Yeah, I think so. And he's got a very entrepreneurial, open attitude, which I think is a good thing.
Here's a mind blower. He's got 8 different types of businesses. Mm-hmm. He only owns between 8 and 9% of each one of those businesses.
Exactly.
He's not even a primary owner.
Exactly.
But he's attached to every one of those.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. He seeds them, gets them up and running, and then gets a good valuation behind them and sells them. And sometimes he doesn't even seed them.
Doesn't. But it blows my mind when you see it. But he is all about branding.
Yeah.
Right? You said dog, favorite animal.
Yeah.
Give me 3 adjectives that describe a dog.
Loyal.
Mm-hmm.
I think fun and healthy.
So that's you?
Yeah. I think so, probably.
No, that you just identified yourself. You run in the morning and all that?
Yeah.
Is he fun? Is he loyal? Yeah, I'm looking at your team over here going, absolutely.
No, they don't think that, actually.
No, they didn't. And then you said Apple is your favorite brand.
Yeah.
What excites you about Apple?
I think the philosophy and the ethos behind it of just absolute attention to detail, inside and out. I think the notion that you don't necessarily listen to your consumers, you deliver them something they didn't even know they needed. I love the strategy behind the brand. I think it's that strategy has cast them in good stead now for about 20 years. And
everyone thinks
keep going.
Everyone sees them still as the underdog. It blows my mind, right?
It's amazing, yeah.
You going to get a watch?
Going to get a watch?
Yeah.
An Apple Watch?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. We all are. It's it's like, I don't know why I want this or need it, but I'm going to get one, right? So you went public.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough place to be, right? Because
it is,
transparency, accountability, and all that. Do you like being there?
Yeah, I think, it depends. You've got different ways of building your business. In this business, you identified the need for working capital and, be able to, fund that growth. And, there's a few things that happens in this industry. One of them is you're a great designer, you start a brand, but you don't have the business skills, the thing falls over. Mm-hmm. 2 is you're a great designer, you build a brand, but you don't have the capital to really take it to the end, so you sell out.
Right.
And you become a minority shareholder over time, or you sell out completely. Or the 3rd is that you get the business properly funded and you own the majority of the business and you get a chance to sort of, take the upside. Going public is, a mechanism to do that, to build a balance sheet. There's lots of other ways to do it. We chose that method.
How long ago did you do that?
About a year and a half ago.
What's the stock symbol?
BANJ.
BANJ, and that's an OTC?
OTCQB.
Okay, so you are a publicly traded company. You have to make sure everything's out there all the time.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends that own publicly traded companies, they can't wait to go back and buy the company back.
Yeah.
Kind of feel like that way sometimes?
I've done it before.
Okay, so you already know.
Yeah, I know. And I knew what I was doing when I got into it. And that option's always available. But I think the key thing is to get the right team around you, make sure that you're able to focus in on the business, not the public company. And once you do that, get the numbers, get the results, execute, and everything else takes care of itself.
What you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Ben McPherson joining us, who's the co-founder and CEO of Banjo Matilda. Who's the other co-founder?
My wife, Belinda. She's awesome, way smarter than me.
Love that you said she's awesome. That was a smart thing you just did.
She'll look at this later. So.
Yeah, as you do this, because I love when partnerships work really well. Okay, my partner and I, we're always together, and I love that. Is it awkward at times? Do you take work home all the time?
We do, but we love it. We're passionate about what we do, and honestly, it's been great for us. It really has. It's been an awesome experience.
And you have kids.
We've got 2 kids.
So do your kids see you as the owners of a business? Do they actually see the entrepreneurial side?
My 8-year-old gives me business tips.
Really? What was the last good one?
He said that we should do cashmere teddy bears.
There's probably somebody out there.
I'm telling you, it's a good idea.
If I was a a sultant, I would buy that.
Yeah.
How many sultans do you have out there?
I'm telling you, we're going to do it. We're going to do cashmere teddy bear.
Really?
And I guarantee.
How would you price that?
I guarantee we're going to sell, a couple $100,
You probably would,
$150
actually.
or something.
There's somebody out there would buy it.
Why not?
I love that. Yeah. But as you go through this now, you've been doing 7 years, I think you said, right?
Yeah.
Where do you see the business, say, another 5 years from now?
Well, look, that'll bring us up to about 10 years, and we'll be a $50 to $100 million business by that time.
Yeah.
And,
do you want to run it at that size, or is that a good time to get out?
Look, I'm never. There's no firm answers around any of that. We're passionate about what we're doing. We could end up doing this for the rest of our lives. We could, decide one day that we're going to wake up and travel the world and change our minds. But I think. The thing is that we're not looking that far ahead in terms of whether we're going to stick around. The most important thing for us is that we're passionate about the business today, and we're doing absolutely everything we can do to make the thing successful and beautiful.
What are you excited about right now? If I go to the website, if one of us go to the website, what should we get? What's one of those must-have things that you offer?
Yeah, we've got a really cool camouflage luxury sweater, and we've got very cool cashmere tracksuit pants.
Aren't you wearing any of this?
Yeah, well, it's female only. I should do that.
Yeah,
shouldn't
you should have been wearing that. I would like to have seen the cashmere.
A nice little kind of ponytail at the back. Maybe a bra.
We don't need to see that. So you're excited about the business. I love that you're seeing this that way. I love that you're going to get an Apple Watch with me. We'll wait in line to do that together.
We'll see.
And then last, do you ever see yourself going back to an Australian residence? You're here now.
Sure. Why not?
You're bouncing back and forth.
Yeah. There's no never. You can't ever say
Just
anything's
curious.
forever. Yeah.
You just said the whole entrepreneurial thing you love over here right now.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah,
one day. One day.
So the website is what? Where should people go?
banjoandmatilda.com.
Go there.
Yeah.
Get shopping, or go into some of the stores. We got Neiman Marcus, we have
Net-a-Porter, Shop Bop, Intermix.
You can actually see the product there.
I think Saks as well.
Or if you're down in Sydney.
Yeah, we've got a David Jones and a store ourselves down there in Sydney, Paddington.
I really appreciate sharing time with us, Ben.
Cool, thank you.
Come on back on, okay?
Cool.
We'll come back and find out what's going on with the banking system. What should we do here? Breaking the bank. How do you work with banks? Is there even an opportunity owning a bank? A friend of mine owns a bank. Should you? I don't know. We'll find out. Ben Brett King's going to join us. I'm Ken Rakowski. You're listening to Business Rockstars.
We are perfectionists. We do it right and don't stop until the job is done. We build commercial zero-turn mowers with maneuverability, power, and comfort. Who are we? We're Kubota. Now, during our More Power to You sales event, you can get long-term financing as low as 0% APR on new commercial-grade Z700 series mowers.
For more information or to find a participating dealer, go to Kubota.com. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost you thousands. The Quicken Loans PMI Advantage is our lender-paid mortgage insurance program. You see, we pay the PMI so you don't have to. PMI Advantage can give you more options, more flexibility, and may save you thousands when you refinance. To learn more, call us at 800-QUICKEN. That's 800-QUICKEN, or visit us at quickenloans.com.
Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
2 little tablets is all it takes to get thicker, fuller hair guaranteed. Viviscal is the #1 drug-free hair growth supplement in the U.S. It's clinically proven, loved by celebrities, and recommended by doctors. Want to try Viviscal? Every listener that calls can try it risk-free for 90 days, plus free shipping. Get thicker, fuller hair guaranteed. Call now, 800-961-6924. 800-961-6924. That's 800-961-6924.
This is David Cordani, CEO of Cigna. For more than 20 years, Cigna has worked with the March of Dimes to address premature births in the U.S. Thank you for taking time to learn more about how you could support March for Babies in 2015. Premature births cause horrible suffering and cost billions of dollars each year. That's why Cigna is committed to raising funds and awareness through our employees, family, and friends to improve the health of moms and babies. Please join us in supporting the March for Babies. Start your team today at marchforbabies.org.
And now, the Lens of Liberty. Here is Helen Kriebel.
Early this year, the Federal Communications Commission issued a proposal to place government monitors in newsrooms around the country, supposedly to monitor news coverage and study why reporters choose to cover certain stories and not others. The public reaction was fierce and immediate. People across the country looked through the lens of liberty and realized what a terrible threat to freedom that was. An independent and free press is one of America's first freedoms because the people have a right to know what their government is up to. Americans don't believe in censorship, and even the smallest hint of government control of the free press had to be resisted immediately. That is exactly what happened. The FCC was forced to withdraw the plan. That proves once again the power of public opinion in a democratic republic, that in America, the people still rule.
For more information, go to lensofliberty.org. That's lensofliberty.org.
Another money-saving secret from Arm & Hammer.
My name is Malena. I'm from Los Angeles, California. I love Arm & Hammer Sensitive Skin Plus Scent laundry detergent. It cleans really well. It doesn't irritate my skin, and it smells wonderful.
Arm & Hammer Sensitive Skin Plus Scent has a skin-friendly scent people love, so it's preferred 2-to-1 over the leading free and clear detergent, and it costs up to 30% less.
We've been on a very tight budget lately, so it's a no-brainer.
The clean you need at a fraction of the cost.
What do you do with savory Johnsonville Italian sausage?
Well, I turn regular pasta into Mom's famous rigatoni sausage.
I turn plain pasta into Uncle Charlie's world-renowned baked ziti.
With Johnsonville, I make Judy's legendary spaghetti and meatballs.
Create your world-famous pasta dish. Pick up Johnsonville Italian sausage in links or ground and bring sizzle to pasta night.
This is Business Rockstars, where we introduce you to the rock stars of the business world, so you can become a rock star too.
All right, our last quote for the day is coming from Drew Houston, who is the founder of Dropbox. They're going through an interesting time right now. Don't worry about failure, because every once in a while, you just got to be right once. I'm Ken Rakowski. It's Business Rockstars. From starting to growing to funding your passion is something that's real and sustainable. That's what we're here to do. We're here to bring you the rock stars that are doing it right now. And I know there's so many rock stars that are listening to us right now. Tell us about you. Send me an email, ken@businessrockstars.com. Joining me in studio, I've known him for about, I don't know, this is like our 5th year, 6th year. We've been dating a long time, you and I, right?
Yeah.
I love the voice, yeah. 4th book? 3rd book.
I'm doing my 5th right now.
You're doing your 5th book, Travels the Planet, speaking on the idea of what's going on in fintech. Brett King is joining us, author, CEO, keynote speaker, radio host, thought leader, and Movin'.
Yeah, Movin.com.
Yeah, Movin.com, which is a very interesting
first
concept.
Downloadable bank account.
What's that mean?
You download the app. It takes you 2 minutes to sign up. That's it. You know,
but is it you have a bank account with Movin, or do you have a bank account with your bank and this goes over your bank?
Both. We can aggregate in your existing bank account. So it's like if you know the Fitbit concept, it's like that for your wallet. So it coaches you on how to save money over time by managing your behavior. Yeah, manages your financial behavior.
And business is really good, isn't it?
Yeah, we're about to hit 100 million in terms of valuation. We're growing. We're taking on 35,000 new customers a month right now. It's just it's firing.
You said, hey, we should talk about fintech.
Yeah.
Fintech. So Finnish technology?
Financial technology.
Oh, not the Finnish, because we just had him here the other day.
No.
Is there a big business there? Because every time I see something about banks, the report card of the international banks came out. A lot of them weren't really doing all that well. We see the euro going all over the place. It's it's not too nice for you to be over here right now if you're coming in from Australia because the dollar's so strong.
Well, I've been doing business in US dollars for years.
I know, you live here. I know that.
Yeah.
Is it a good business to be in, in fintech right now?
But, you know, the US financial services business is about $15 trillion a year, right? You know, it's huge. 30% of the US GDP. And we are talking about the fact that the primary modality of this has been a branch in a community, you know, for the longest time. And that's about to get totally blown up. You know, we're going to see 40 to 50% contraction in the number of branches in the United States. We're going to see a 30% decline in the number of banks in the United States. And a lot of that is going to go to startups, Lending Club, you know, Prosper, Movin', Simple, Betterment, Wealthfront. We are all the attackers that are redesigning the experience of day-to-day banking.
Now, the people that are in the fintech industry, are they, like, for example, I've realized people are making medical apps. They're not doctors.
Sure.
They just found a solution to a problem. Are a lot of people in the fintech from the financial industries?
So, you know, you probably heard of Clinkle, which was a startup and this is a good example where when you have technologists come in and try and solve this, and they often fail because you do need a minimum level of competency in the banking sector.
Okay.
You know, so it's got to be that
compliance issues too in some areas too, right?
It's got to be that marriage of fin and tech where it's successful. Mostly tech, because it's mostly about building experiences, but you do need some core knowledge. You need to know about compliance rules, KYC. You need to have bank partners, you know. Yeah.
Okay, so you do have to have it somehow.
Yeah.
Brett King's joining us. He is the CEO of Movin', which is this. You can download the app right now.
Correct.
Where do you go?
iTunes, Google Play, just download Movin.com.
Do you have it for the Nokia phone?
No. We have a...
No, you don't. Really? You're that one? I'm just curious. So you really see mobile as it. I mean, this is really what's changing everything, right? It's the personalization and the portability.
Well, you know, and this is the futurist hat coming on now. Yeah. If you look at the future, where we're really going is not just experiences embedded in your life, where mobile's a great platform for that, but, you know, the Apple Watch, which we were talking in the previous segment, Google Glass, these types of things. It's a combination of sensors that capture information and feedback loops that give you notifications. And I don't know if you saw the New Yorker article about Johnny Ive, and he said when he saw the Glass, Google Glass, he said that's the wrong place for notifications. So the next phase of all this disruption is not going to be apps. It's going to be this stream or flow of context and data. You know, and a lot of it's going to be synthesis, taking information like sensors on your wrist and making sense of that health data, for example, and giving it back to you, contextualizing that. And with money needs to be contextualized because it is social, it is location based, it is based on things that we're trying to do today. And banks don't do that. Banks just wait for you to ask, and then they say no, or they charge you for it, right? So it's that contextualization experience.
But I also think the millennials that are out there, they hate the gatekeeper environment. Yeah. They hate it. Yeah. So they want to find a way to disrupt that gatekeeping, right?
70% of millennials don't want to go to a bank branch to open a bank account. They just want to download it to their phone. Yeah. So, you know, any bank that still requires you to sign a piece of paper to get a product is screwed. Absolutely screwed. Am I allowed to say screwed?
No, you can say it. As you look at the global banking environment, would Singapore possibly still or potentially be that capital, or is it still going to be New York and London and Hong Kong?
Well, you know, look, right now the really interesting places are places like Kenya.
Because M-Pesa.
Yeah, M-Pesa. Look, you know, the fact is...
It's a mobile payment system that they use.
Kenya has a more advanced person-to-person mobile payments environment than the United States, you know. China, Weibo, the mobile money market fund for Alibaba, they raised $93 billion in deposits in 8 months. If you take the top 20 banks in the world with all of their branches, they've never done that in a year. right? So immediately, Alibaba has just proved with one experience that a mobile phone is a far more efficient deposit taking.
So the whole PayPal environment that we've seen, will we start seeing Amazon have their own PayPal? Will we start seeing a Google having their own PayPal? I mean, just something that would be similar to that.
Well, Facebook just launched payments, of course. Everyone wants to get into this space, but I think that what we're finding is the difference is, Venmo showed us that payments were social, right? And that's why I think PayPal acquired them. Uber has showed us that payments are part of a journey. So what we're realizing now is that those wires are just part of the pipes.
People find out more about you. Where do they go?
BrettKing.com for speaking, and Movin.com for downloading the app.
Charlie and Rollo, thanks a lot for making a great show happen. Bridget and Brittany for booking great guests. We'll be back with you anytime you want. When it comes to starting, growing, and funding your passion is something real and sustainable, it's businessrockstars.com. I'm Ken Rakowski. Thanks a lot for listening.
This program is designed to provide accurate and authoritative information with regard to the subject matter covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the host nor the station is engaged in rendering legal, accounting, business, or other professional advice. Since the details of your situation are unique, you should additionally seek the advice and services of a competent professional.
Today, Geico's stuff found in your car takes us under your passenger seat.
Hello, darling. Remember me? That earring you lost? I thought we were close, but then it took 15 minutes to notice I was missing in this ghastly carpeting. That's 15 minutes you could have used to switch your car insurance to Geico and saved hundreds of dollars. Money you could use for new earrings. And wouldn't that be nice? For you.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com today.
Like the taste of fresh apples? Try an Angry Orchard hard cider. At Angry Orchard, we believe in tradition. That's why we use apples from a 100-year-old orchard. It takes 2 apples to make each bottle of Angry Orchard. So raise a glass to a time when apples were best served in a pint glass. Angry Orchard, when you're looking for something a little different. Crisp, refreshing, and not too sweet. Just like me. Angry Orchard hard cider. Branch out.
Angry Orchard Cider Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Drink responsibly.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. Texas GOP Senator Ted Cruz makes it official.
I believe in the power of millions of courageous conservatives rising up to reignite the promise of America. And that is why today I am announcing that I'm running for President of the United States.
Cruz made his declaration in front of a receptive crowd at Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia. He becomes the first major figure of either party to announce his intentions. Iran tells world leaders, let's find common ground for a nuke deal.
State-run Press TV is quoting a senior Iranian nuclear negotiator as pushing for a common position to achieve a balanced final nuclear deal with Iran as the deadline for a framework over Tehran's nuclear program approaches.
Fox Radio's Jessica Gallagher. A springtime snowstorm dumps more than a foot in portions of the north-central U.S. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Geico presents Fan Mail to a Pig.
Dear Maxwell, I just want to say thank you for making my Geico Insurance ID card digital. It's easy to find on the app. It doesn't give me paper cuts, and I always have it on hand because it's on my phone. Because of this, I finally cleaned out my glove box, which was filled with years of paper ID cards. Any thought on what I should put in my glove box now? Sincerely, Trent Patterson. Trent, what can you put in the glove box? Here's a crazy thought. How about gloves?
Digital insurance ID cards, just a tap away on the Geico app.
You're running your business, and we at Wix.com know things can get stressful. But creating your website doesn't have to be. With Wix, you can create a professional website all by yourself. It's easy and free. You don't have to be a programmer. Just drag and drop everything into place. It's your website, your style. Show the world what you can do. Go to Wix.com and create your own stunning website today. It's easy and free.
what the USDA says needs to happen to reduce the number of people needing food assistance. That's coming up on This Land of Ours.
Hello, farmers. This is Val Dolcini, administrator of the USDA Farm Service Agency in Washington, D.C. I have an update for you as you prepare to make your decision about ARC or PLC safety net programs. These important decisions need to be made by March 31. That includes landowner decisions on whether to update yields or reallocate base acres. Agricultural risk coverage or price loss coverage programs were designed by Congress to protect your farm's overall economic health. You need to decide which program is best for your farm by March 31. You still have time to plug your farm information into one of our website calculators to help with this decision. The tools can be found on our website at www.fsa.usda.gov/ARC-PLC. I urge you to use one of the tools and then to visit your local FSA county office. Make your program choice by March 31. And remember, we're here to help, so contact us today.
The recession may be over for tens of millions of Americans,
but unfortunately it's not over for tens of millions of other Americans.
Undersecretary of Agriculture Kevin Concannon telling a House Appropriations panel that this shows up when you look at the profile of the recipients of SNAP. There are many who can't find jobs at all, but also
we have among the highest rate of people receiving SNAP who are actively working, but they're getting minimum wage or they're getting part-time work even though they would like more hours.
He said there's a great need for job training and job finding programs.
So that's why in this budget we are seeking additional funds in employment and training, but we believe very strongly in the employment and training, the potential it has to better connect people to the workforce.
This month, the USDA will announce the states receiving job training grants from a $20 million competitive program in the Farm Bill. I'm Kathy Isom, Southeast AgNet.
A lot of people think I'm superstitious. I never step on cracks. I never keep black cats on the ranch. I never open umbrellas indoors, not even in the barn. And I never let a young calf go unvaccinated, because young calves are up against a whole lot more than you think. And I'm not just talking about bad luck, but stuff that even their mama's milk can't protect them from in the long run. Like BVD type 1B, the most common subtype of BVD in infected calves. That's why I vaccinate them with Pyramid 5 Plus Pre-Sponse SQ. It's the only approved combination vaccine that protects calves from BVD type 1B respiratory disease for at least 217 days. Plus, its viral and bacterial protection shields the unluckiest of calves. Even my doomed number 13 calf. Talk with your Beringer Ingelheim Vetmedica Inc. representative today. Learn more at bi-vetmedica.com/cattle.
Johnny, what are you doing in the bathroom? What are you saying? Wait, where are your toy cars? Oh no, tell me you didn't. Honey, call Mike Scott Plumbing.
I didn't do anything.
For once that's true, but little Johnny flushed his toys down the toilet and now it's broke.
Yes. No. I'll get the phone. What's the toll-free number?
866-314-4443.
Got it. 866-314-4443.
Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, they do it. At Mike Scott Plumbing, from the moment you walk through the doors, it's evident that quality is key. From our fully stocked parts department to our fully trained service technicians who can help with anything from a clogged drain to your irrigation system and even servicing your entire septic system. Visit one of our beautiful showrooms in Hernando or in Wildwood and let us show you how to turn your kitchen and bath dreams into reality. Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
1370 WOCA.
WOCA.
We all want to belong. We all want to be heard. We all want to be free. Want to feel safe. Kept far from the dark. All we want is
What you're about to hear is the fusion of entertainment and enlightenment. This is the Glenn Beck Program.
all we
All right, stop the music. Stop the music. This is very important. I have really good news, and it sounds like this. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. This is Chic. Chic has come back out. Now, stay with me for a second. Mm-hmm. Chic has come out with a new disco album. And this is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Full-fledged disco. Now, this is not the good news. I know. Some people are like, yes.
Wait, you're saying finally, full frontal disco isn't good news?
Disco is back, and this time it's pissed. No, this is not the good news. The good news is we have now completed the entire cycle of the 1970s and the Jimmy Carter administration. With disco coming back, we have now completed the entire madness of the 1970s. Which means...
I like that.
America is about ready for a Reagan revolution.
It's morning in America again.
And indeed it is, especially if you're in Lynchburg, Virginia. That's where Liberty University is. And in just a few minutes, Ted Cruz is going to be announcing his candidacy for president of the United States.
Isn't there a little irony there? Just a few weeks ago, right before he made this sort of unofficial announcement on our show, we were saying that of all the potential candidates, he's made the least noise about the fact that he's going to run. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, he's the first one in the pool.
Yeah. Now, here's the interesting thing. He's doing it in an arena. Now, I don't know how many people are going to come, but hopefully that thing is packed. And if that indeed is packed with 20-somethings, he announces the way Barack Obama announced, surrounded with young voters and a massive crowd.
I will say that he's announcing as Barack Obama campaigned. I don't think Obama announced anything like this.
This could be.
His announcement was with little fanfare.
Yeah, so this would be even bigger than Obama.
The GOP is about to get... the GOP is about to be radically surprised because I think the groundswell for somebody like Ted Cruz is going to be enormous. And remember, it's their base. Of course, it's the base that Karl Rove said on Bill O'Reilly on Friday that I don't think he really wanted. It's, it's amazing is these are the people who have voted Republican. I voted Republican, but I'm not a Republican. I haven't been a Republican. I don't give money to the Republican Party.
What a shocking new announcement.
I know.
Glenn Beck announces today again.
But I'm absolutely done with the Republican Party. Why? Because they don't stand for any principles. All they stand for is winning. And they keep losing because winning is a byproduct of standing for something. And they don't understand that. So Karl Rove was on Bill O'Reilly on Friday, and he was hammering me and basically saying, well, Glenn Beck's not a Republican anyway. This is not a surprise. He's never given to the Republican Party. He's not really a Republican. Well, that, Karl, would make me an independent. And without the independence, you can't win. You're about to see the Republican, the conservative independents come out like crazy for Ted Cruz.
I will say, he said something very interesting, though, during that discussion with O'Reilly that gave me a lot of hope. Did you catch? I mean, this is kind of interesting.
Blind.
This is kind of interesting.
I actually listened to half of it, and then I wrote a Facebook post.
Listen to this.
With all due respect, he's been saying this for years. All right. It's had an impact.
Okay, there's throw out line one. It's had an impact. Okay, you've been saying it for years, and already it's had an impact. Well, good.
I wish you would listen to what the people are saying.
Why aren't you paying attention then?
But the bigger question is when a guy like Beck or Limbaugh or anybody on the radio with a very big conservative following, when they say things like this, does it really hurt the party? Well, the cumulative effect is it does hurt, but
okay, and there it is again. Well, the cumulative, it does hurt, but okay, so that tells you right there, you are having an impact. That tells you that, and we are in our day-to-day lives think we don't. We keep thinking, okay.
They're not even listening.
They're not listening. It doesn't
you have
matter.
an impact.
Yeah, this defund GOP thing doesn't work. It is working.
So here's my message to Karl Rove. If you want to rumble, buddy, come on. Come on. Let's go. I'll do an hour with you. I'll do 2 hours. I'll do 6 hours with you, Karl. You're here in Texas. Come on, baby. Come on the radio, come on television, because with your record and the record of the GOP, I would love to talk to you about your strategy. I believe we could do it with our eyes closed and in a full-fledged coma. Here's what he said. He used my words to mock me, and the audience heard those words, and I would guess, and especially, Breitbart came out and talked to all kinds of experts. Do you see this? Talked to all kinds of people that are like, don't necessarily like Glenn Beck, agree with him 100% on this one. If you don't think that the Republicans are progressive light, Karl, and if the GOP doesn't think that they are progressive light, you don't know the history of the movement started by the GOP and Theodore Roosevelt. Now, here's the important part. There are good people in the GOP that believe in the Constitution. Ted Cruz is one. Mike Lee is one. But you keep attacking those guys. So are you one? Do you seriously believe that Jeb Bush is not a progressive? If so, could you explain Common Core to me, please? How about Orrin Hatch and his role in targeting Mike Lee? Can you name a more honorable, Constitution-based man than Mike Lee? How about Mitch McConnell and his targeting of Ted Cruz and Mike Lee? How are things working out for all of the campaign promises, Karl? How about the deficit? It's great, isn't it? How about the war, defunding Obamacare? Oh, wait a minute. Didn't you guys? Yeah, I remember talking to so many Republicans that actually voted to confirm Cass Sunstein. And how's the illegal immigration thing that you campaigned against? How's that working out for you? You don't need to answer because I know the answer already. Your big corporate cronies, especially down in the colonias, they love it. It's modern day slavery, but you're all for it. Hey, has Grover Norquist started a new Muslim Brotherhood front group lately? I'm just wondering. One that you guys in the GOP and the Bushes can get behind and try to convince us that they're the good guys. How about some more FCC regulation? Wouldn't that be good? Karl, can you tell me one thing that the Republicans have done? Besides the Patriot Act, the NSA, and not stopping the IRS from a massive abuse of power. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. You did get to the bottom of Benghazi. Oh, no, you haven't done that either. Gosh, maybe it's because you're swamped with all that work trying to fix the VA to help all the men that you put in harm's way. Oh, no, gosh, darn it. I'm sorry. You guys didn't do that either. Wow. Man, I'm having a hard time. How is it you guys find your way out of bed in the morning? I don't know. How do you find? Maybe, you know what? You probably don't have to worry about that because you probably don't sleep at night. Tossing and turning from all of the campaign promises that you have broken. How's the health of the three equal branches of government? How's that working? Is that really good? I know, Karl, you said on Friday, well, Glenn Beck doesn't understand strategy. We agree on a lot of stuff. I'd like to hear what we agree on. At least the stuff that we agree on and then you actually do. I'd like to see the do part of the agreement list. You say that I just, Glenn doesn't understand strategy. We're trying to get to the same place. We just have a different road. Well, your road's taking us to hell. I don't know about that one. Because your strategy is we can't push for these things right now. We can't do that. Okay, because we got to win the White House. Well, last summer you were telling us we couldn't push for these things because we needed to win the Senate. Now it's the White House. Oh, you know what? But you're right. You're right. Gosh, man. Shoot. We win the White House. Then we have the White House, the Senate, and the House. That's when we really go for it, right? Just Just like we did when Bush was in the Oval Office and we had both houses. Crap, that's not working out, is it? Another bad example. As I said over the weekend, and has been reported everywhere, and I think it's worth saying again, you guys have the spine of a worm, the ethics of whores, and the integrity of pirates, with my apologies to worms, whores, and pirates. Karl Rove said one thing that was accurate. You don't have to worry about Glenn Beck. We're not worried about Glenn Beck. You're right, and you shouldn't, because I'm not a force to be reckoned with. The American people are. And I'm not alone feeling this way. I'm not alone. I'm not the only guy who has voted Republican my entire life that says, enough, I'm done with them. We have had it up to our eyeballs. We've had it. We're done. You need to worry about the American people. You need to worry about yourself. You should really worry about yourself and your business, because didn't you blow like $1 billion on the Romney thing? And that just didn't really work. I wonder what you've learned from that. It's sad that the GOP can no longer hear the American people, because they're the only ones that can save you. Instead, you listen to yourself and other political consultants, and it's the amazing thing is you still buy the crap you're shoveling. Can you not smell what's at the bottom of that shovel, Carl? The world has changed. The world is being redesigned, not by government, but by dreamers and doers. You, the GOP, are the taxi medallions in an Uber world. You don't have to be a 20-something to see that, but the 20-somethings do see that. To see that, you just have to be open, honest, self-reflective, self-aware. Instead, you just continue to shine up the progressive agenda of people like Jeb Bush, pressure, corrupt, or threaten the freshmen, smear the good people of this country who actually believe in principles that are enshrined in the Constitution. You just say they're irrelevant. It's sad what the GOP has become. I am convinced that the GOP today would campaign against Ronald Reagan. And I don't need a lot of, it's not a big stretch, because the closest thing to Ronald Reagan we have today is Ted Cruz, and look what you're doing to him. JFK is too Republican for the Republican Party today. Government isn't the solution. Government is the problem. But you believe, the GOP, that only government run by the Democrats is the problem. As long as you're running the big government, you're fine. By the way, I'm going to talk about this, the whiteboard thing that he did on Ted Cruz. He was like, oh, Ted Cruz, look who said this. Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz said we couldn't win the immigration thing. Yeah. Carl, you're not this stupid. You know exactly what Ted Cruz was saying. Ted Cruz was saying your strategy was wrong. Your strategy was wrong. You had no intention of ever doing anything on immigration. Which is why millions of Americans support him, and why you and your progressive fat cats will try to destroy him and anybody else that tries to stand for the truth. And good luck with that. Because the future belongs to the people. The genie is out of the bottle. You're not going to be able to corral the spirit of America, because America is not a person. It's not a place. It's an idea. Do you know why America is failing? Do you know why we're failing? Do your polls ever tell you that? Does your whiteboard ever say, hey, dummy? It's because we don't know who we are anymore. And why is that? Because there are too many experts, too many consultants that will talk about the interests of getting elected and not the principles. Getting elected is a byproduct of having principles that you stand for and actually follow through on. People talk about interests, your interests, the party's interests, special interests, national interests. Those all change depending on the day and situation. Principles don't change. When you and the GOP find your unchanging and eternal principles again, and those principles other than keeping your power and controlling people's lives, you let me know. I don't support the GOP, but I'll support a candidate that has principles. See, Carl, what you don't understand and what the GOP doesn't understand is America doesn't trust Washington anymore because you haven't given us any reason to trust Washington anymore. We're not as dumb as you think we are. Isn't that amazing? We're paying attention now. We're not going to sit down and shut up anymore. Here's what I have to say to the American people. George Washington was right. He said the two-party system would be the death of us. He was right. Now, here's the thing. Find the person you believe in. Doesn't matter what party he's in. Find the person that you believe in and support them. It's never too late to change. It's never too late to wake up. People right now are saying, Glenn, you're hurting the party. You can't say, if you can't say this now, before anybody was even announced that they were running, when can you say this about the party? If you can't say this in a primary, when can you say this? Never. Never. Not according to the GOP. There is a struggle for the battle of the soul of not the GOP, for America. I'm engaged in it. Is the GOP? At least one guy I know is. And he's announcing today, and you'll hear it live on this program. We'll talk about that, and I want to talk to you about a phone call that I got from Ted Cruz on Friday. And we'll just kind of chat about that. And then I want to hear from you today as well. Number is 888-727-BECK.
He called me Thursday.
Did he?
I talked to him on Wednesday.
Well, he called me on Tuesday to tell me, and then
right. That was call I asked him
after
to make.
The Monday call to me that he made.
But and that was the call I asked.
You should really, out of deference, call Glenn and Stu as well.
He asked me for your phone numbers, so that was 2 weeks ago.
That's because we talk on Skype.
Here's our sponsor this half hour. It's LifeLock. Man arrested with hundreds of identities pleads guilty. That's pretty hard to, pretty hard to get around that one. Florida man arrested with hundreds of identities in his possession.
Parents gave him lots of names.
Pleaded guilty to fraud and identity theft. Yeah, one of them was Barry. Anyway, identity theft charges faces a maximum of 55 years in federal prison. During a traffic stop, he was found with 34 different debit cards, along with nearly 300 sets of personal ID. I'd like to see your identification. Which one, officer? I've got over 300 here. Police also located over 100 sets of personal identifying information on computers and cell phones discovered during the search. Debit cards were applied to using stolen personal information and obtained fraudulently and associated with tax fraud. We're in tax season now. Identity thieves are shrewd. They're everywhere. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to get LifeLock Ultimate. I have it. My family has it. They've saved my butt a couple of times. LifeLock.com/Beck. Use the promo code and save 10%. 1-800-440-4936. 800-440-4936. LifeLock.com/Beck. 1-800-440-4936.
You're listening to the Glenn Beck Program.
The Blaze Radio Network.
Hi, this is Wayne Allen Root, the capitalist evangelist. Many know me as a former vice presidential nominee, best-selling author, or former anchor at Financial News Network. Today, I travel the world looking for exciting opportunities, and I found one in black gold resources. Even in a bad economy, savvy investors can diversify their portfolios for steady monthly income and powerful tax advantages with oil well ownership. Legendary investment guru Benjamin Graham's philosophy was to buy low and sell high, and that's exactly how I feel about the price of oil today. Worldwide oil demand has soared from 20 billion to over 33 billion barrels annually. Black Gold's projects are specially designed with no dry hole drilling risk. Plus, you can use your IRA funds. If you're a qualified investor looking for long-term steady monthly income and have at least $40,000 to start, call us now at 800-255-1236. That's 800-255-1236. That's toll-free 800-255-1236.
Keselowski wins a thriller in Fontana. I'm Kyle Rickey. That story next on NASCAR Today, midday.
Gears will grind, brakes will blow, and sheet metal will tear when NASCAR returns to the tight, testy half mile of Martinsville Speedway. Feel the rumble of Martinsville Speedway up close, beginning with the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Kroger 250 on Saturday, March 28th. The laps double, but the excitement triples on Sunday, March 29th, when the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series enters the half mile of mayhem for the STP 500. The action-packed short track promises edge-of-your-seat thrills. Tickets are available right now by calling 877-RACE-TICKS or visit martinsvillespeedway.com.
Hey, it's Flo, and this is my impression of a Hollywood acceptance speech. I'm so surprised! I had no idea! I'm not even prepared! Okay. I'd like to thank the Progressive discounts that got me here. Safe Driver Multi-Car, Paid in Full Multi-Policy. This is just such a big moment. And did I mention that I'm surprised?
With all kinds of discounts, Progressive helps you save.
Oh, and I want to thank my agent and all my discounts agents because we all have the same agent. Don't start the music!
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Brad Keselowski led just one lap in yesterday's Auto Club 400 at the Auto Club Speedway of Southern California, but it was the most important one. Keselowski took the lead from Kurt Busch on the final lap of a green-white checkered flag finish to claim his first win of the Sprint Cup season.
You know, we had that restart, and I drove it in the corner. I said, I hope it sticks. If it sticks, I'm going to win. If it doesn't, I'm going to finish 5th or 6th. I said, well, who cares if you finish 5th or 6th? I'd rather win, and sure enough, it stuck.
The win all but assures Keselowski a spot in the 16-driver chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup at the end of the season. Kevin Harvick continues his run of top 2 finishes, which now stands at 8, as he was able to pass Busch for the second spot just before the finish line. For more on yesterday's race, visit MRN.com. I'm Kyle Rickey. This is NASCAR Today Midday on the Motor Racing Network.
Glenn Beck.
Good morning and welcome to the program. I'm so glad that you are you're here today. Ted Cruz is going to announce in about an hour, and I'm really interested to see what the press is going to say. They love him.
Oh, the Democrats have already started. One number's all you need to know. $24 billion. That's what it cost when he shut down the government.
How did a senator shut down the government?
I think he was Speaker of the House at the time.
Was he?
Yeah, I think he was Speaker of the House at the time.
It's incredible.
So stupid.
Just incredible.
So stupid. And that's going to, it'll work for a lot of people because they have such little understanding of how the government works.
Yeah. Have faith. Have faith.
The Glenn Beck Program.
The Blaze Radio Network.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. Texas GOP Senator Ted Cruz makes it official.
I believe in the power of millions of courageous conservatives rising up to reignite the promise of America. And that is why today I am announcing that I'm running for President of the United States.
Cruz made his declaration in front of a receptive crowd at Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia. He becomes the first major figure of either party to announce his intentions. Iran tells world leaders, let's find common ground for a nuke deal.
State-run Press TV is quoting a senior Iranian nuclear negotiator as pushing for a common position to achieve a balanced final nuclear deal with Iran as the deadline for a framework over Tehran's nuclear program approaches.
Fox Radio's Jessica Gallagher. A springtime snowstorm dumps more than a foot in portions of the north-central U.S. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Geico presents Fan Mail to a Pig.
Dear Maxwell, I just want to say thank you for making my Geico Insurance ID card digital. It's easy to find on the app. It doesn't give me paper cuts, and I always have it on hand because it's on my phone. Because of this, I finally cleaned out my glove box, which was filled with years of paper ID cards. Any thought on what I should put in my glove box now? Sincerely, Trent Patterson. Trent, what can you put in the glove box? Here's a crazy thought. How about gloves?
Digital insurance ID cards, just a tap away on the Geico app.
You're running your business, and we at Wix.com know things can get stressful. But creating your website doesn't have to be. With Wix, you can create a professional website all by yourself. It's easy and free. You don't have to be a programmer. Just drag and drop everything into place. It's your website, your style. Show the world what you can do. Go to Wix.com and create your own stunning website today. It's easy and free.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Are you tired of not using your home's outdoor space for entertaining or relaxation because of all the bugs and leaves? Consider adding a beautiful screen room or glass enclosure. We are Superior Aluminum and Design, a family-owned and operated business with 20 years experience in the aluminum industry, and we are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. If you appreciate superior workmanship, call Superior Aluminum and Design at 817-8058 or visit us on the web at superiораluminumdesign.com.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
In a study involving more than 2,000 people, those with slimmer waistlines showed higher cognitive ability than those who were overweight or obese. Our pets improve our character and make us much better people. If your partner's the one who's stressed out, we know that you will be 25% more likely to be affected than a stranger would be. Yeah, be careful because stress is contagious.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
That was the sound of a tree falling. It could be your tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now all you have to do is call Pride Tree Service, and they'll have it quickly out of the way for a great price. But don't wait until the tree falls. It may not fall in the field. It may hit your car, your house, or worse. So call Pride Tree Service today and avoid all those headaches before they happen. Pride Tree Service, 840-0750. That's 840-0750.
Let's give it up for old asphalt and a new pair of shoes. Let's give it up for a good rhythm meeting a sweet melody. For a church cookout under clear skies. Let's give it up for good things coming together, like bundling your auto and other policies together with an Allstate agent, which can save you time and keep you better protected. Let's give it up for good.
To receive your comparative insurance quote, contact the McDonald Agency at 622-2333.
Holidays and memories go hand in hand. Why not make this Easter even more memorable by serving a honey-baked ham and delicious sides and desserts? Yum! Yes, the coconut and lemon cream cakes are back.
Enjoying the family, egg hunts, and just being able to relax without having to spend hours in the kitchen will make your day a memorable one. Hop on over to Honey Baked Ham.
Call and place your holiday order today, 861-0011. That's 861-0011. Honey Baked Ham, behind Best Buy.
Glenn Beck.
I had a great conversation with Ted Cruz on Friday night, and it was just a personal call, just to chat for just a few minutes, and we talked about the importance of prayer. And in this conversation, he told me that he had spent about 2 hours with his children and his wife in prayer, making the final decision this week. And I have to tell you, that means the world to me, and I think a lot of Americans, that, you know, when I was, Pat, were you with me when I was speaking for the NRA, this is years ago, in Washington, D.C., and I think Barack Obama had just been elected, and I said, the war was really heating up, and I was in a building across the street from the White House, and I could see into the Oval Office. And it was late at night, and I said to whoever was with me, it may have been you, do you think that man gets down on his knees and prays when he's about to make a big decision. And neither of us thought that he did. Now, we could be wrong, and I don't want to judge the man. I don't know. But that is really important. You're in the most powerful office in the world, or used to be, the most powerful office in the world, making decisions that affect people, not just in America, but all over the world. And if you're not humble enough to get down on your knees and beg God for assistance, we're in trouble. We're in real trouble. So when Ted said, I spent 2 hours in prayer with my family, we talked about how hard it was with the children and everything else. That was welcome news. Now, if I may, he said to me, I have such peace, Glenn. Don't know how it's all going to work out, but I have such peace. He said, I just know it's what I'm supposed to do. He also said, I know what's coming my way. I know what's coming my way. Already, they've dug something up about his wife from like the 1990s, and they were smearing his wife for she was sick, and they found her, I don't know, on the roadside or something like that, and they had already addressed this years ago about that she had depression, and it was all fine now. Everything else. They're digging that up. Do you have no respect at all? I mean, you can't say anything unless it's nice abs from the first lady. You can't say anything.
She does have great arms.
Yeah, she has great arms.
Seen her shoulders?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Incredible.
Great shoulders. You can't say a word.
No.
But you take a real medical condition and you throw that out from 25 years ago? Come on. It's sick. Here's what I want to say to you. For those who believe that God is in control, for those of you that believe that Benjamin Netanyahu did come to us as he stated, as Mordecai, and you understand what that means. And I said to you last week, we are in charge of our own destiny. We are in charge, not the government, certainly not the political parties. We're in charge. We make the choice. And let the chips fall where they may. And God will guide us. If you really believe that, fast and pray like you've never fasted and prayed before. Because all of the guns are coming out for this guy. All of the guns. And he may not even be your candidate. But I would recommend that you do that for any of the presidential candidates, whoever you're for, that the truth will be heard, that the truth will be recognized, and that the enemies of man's freedom will be thwarted, and that the press will grow less and less important. Did you see there was a story on what was the headline? The irrelevance of NBC. The irrelevance of NBC. Look at what's happening to MSNBC. It's practically off the air. My shoes have a bigger audience. I could put my shoes on TV for an hour, and they don't do anything. They're just my shoes. And I think they'd have a bigger audience than some of the shows on NBC.
Well, both shoes? Because that's a little unfair.
Yeah, only my left shoe.
Okay, yeah,
only my left
be
shoe.
Close with just one shoe.
I mean, I'm competing against MSNBC, so I would do my left shoe only. Mm-hmm. And it's over. The networks have dropped 13% year over year. 13% in ratings. By the time we make it to the election, it's going to be a Facebook election. It really will. It will be an internet election. Now's the time to have it out and decide who we are. I know this. I'm not voting for Jeb Bush. Might vote for somebody else that's the nominee that's under the GOP banner. I don't know. I have to see. I know if it's Ted Cruz, I'm there. If it's Jeb Bush, I'm definitely not there. I won't vote for Jeb Bush. Won't. And now's the time to say that. I mean, that Karl Rove thing was really striking, wasn't it?
Yeah. Here's a little bit of what he had to say.
With all due respect, he's been saying this for years. All right. It's had an impact.
But the bigger question is when a guy like Beck or Limbaugh or anybody on the radio with a very big conservative following, when they say things like this, does it really hurt the party?
Well, the cumulative effect is it does hurt. But look, people are entitled to their opinion, and it's part of the vigorous debate.
That's great.
That's good.
He admitted it twice.
Yeah, but here's the part. He said it's part of the vigorous debate.
Yeah.
It's part of the deal. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Good. You're right, Carl. You are entitled to your opinion. You're just taking the party and driving it into the ground, in my opinion, because you believe that people like Jeb Bush are the right ones. I don't.
There seems to be some fact to back that.
Yeah.
Since, I don't know, his candidate in 2008 lost poorly, had a terrible showing, John McCain. And his candidate in 2012
lost.
Mitt Romney lost and should have easily won.
And before
the record of Barack Obama shouldn't have had any problem winning the nomination.
The Republicans squeak by every time. Every time they have squeaked by, except for Ronald Reagan. What does that tell you? I mean, you know what kills me is 43% of the American population is conservative. 21% is liberal. Why is it we keep pandering to the liberals? Answer, the press.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't care about the press. Why do we care about the press? So, we were talking the other day about some things, and they were like, Glenn, well, if you do that, then what would the press say? I said, can you stop it right now? I don't care what the press says. I know, but we're your press people. We got to be concerned about the press. I know, you're doing your job. Now listen to me. I don't care. What else could they say? What else could they possibly say? How much worse can they possibly make it for all of us in America? You think they're going to get worse? How? We already know who they are. We know what their opinion is. Yeah, well, you've got to play the game. No. 13%. They've lost 13% of their influence year over year. That's only going to pick up. People know who they are. Now, the dummies don't. But you know what? Why are we shooting for the dummies? Let's shoot for the smart people. Let's shoot for the people who actually stand for stuff. Let's shoot for people who have been disenfranchised because of the parties, both parties. I know a ton of Democrats that are just sick of it. They're sick of the game. I know a ton of Republicans that are sick of the game. Good, let's not play the game. Let's try to scoop up all those people who haven't voted because they're sick of it. And the only way you get those people is by standing for something. Actually doing what you mean and meaning what you say. In my opinion. And by the way, can we stop with he's not a natural born citizen?
No, jeez. The Ted Cruz birthers are out now.
Uh-huh. Ted Cruz birthers are out. Oh, okay. Geez. Here is, and I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's, page after page after page. This is from Neil Katyal and Paul Clement. One's a Republican, one's a Democrat. This is the Harvard Law Review. This is the document that the Harvard Law Review just did to say, enough. Ted Cruz qualifies to be president of the United States. Can we stop it?
Yeah.
Can we stop it?
National Constitution Center has a piece out today about that as well, saying the same thing.
Yeah, it's just, it's ridiculous.
His parents
eligible.
Are American.
Oh, for the love of Pete.
Right,
one of them was. Yeah.
It's just.
And that's all it takes. See, for the love of heaven, if illegal aliens can come to America and give birth.
And vote.
And that birth child is a citizen, then so is Ted Cruz, for the love of heaven. Can we
I tell
stop it?
If somebody could come across the border and vote without being a citizen.
Yeah.
I think the guy whose dad was a citizen, whose mom gives birth in Canada, can run for president of the United States.
For that matter.
Oh, for the love of Pete.
Even if Barack Obama had been born in Kenya, his mom was an American, he would have been a citizen.
Yes.
It's ludicrous. It's ludicrous. And if you're going to play this game, you just have no understanding of the U.S. Constitution. And then they turn around and blame us. Well, it's because of you guys that you won't do this birther thing. That's why he's still president. Is it?
No. No, it's not. The birther thing was wrong from the beginning.
From the beginning.
And we've said that over
and over
the
over
beginning.
Again. Do you know, I've got a book at home. I've got to bring it in for TV. I've got a book at home. Is Herbert Hoover a citizen? And it was.
So this has been going on a while.
They tried to kick him out of office. He was the first birther. He was the first birther. He was born in, I don't know, Germany or someplace else. His parents were Americans. He was born overseas. And they tried to say he's not qualified to be president. It's unconstitutional for him to be president. I have the book from 1930 where they're trying to get him out of office. Stop it. Stop it.
Think about what a ridiculous standard that would be. If a woman who was pregnant went on vacation and had a baby early, that kid would not be a naturalized citizen.
And could never be president of the United States.
Right. You don't need to go through naturalization, which indicates you're a natural-born citizen.
Okay. So anyway, the National Constitution Center has a paper out on this. Don't let that spread. The National Constitution Center has that, and so does the Harvard Law Review. Both of them have come out with statements saying this is a ridiculous argument. It is legal, and they spell it all out. So if any of your dummy friends are like, he can't be president of the United States. Really? They tried to do this with John McCain. Yeah. Like I said, they tried to do it with Herbert Hoover.
In Panama.
It's an old, ridiculous, uninformed, constitutionally uninformed comment.
And Ted Cruz's opponent in this race, if he were to get the nomination, likely would be the person who started it with Barack Obama, which would be Hillary Clinton. Now, of course, that came from the underbelly, and certainly she wasn't out front saying it publicly, but that came from the underbelly of her campaign.
Plus, he was born in Canada, which is essentially the 51st state anyway.
I have to tell you, you guys, you know what's crazy is all the people in the press.
It's America North.
All the people in the press are clamoring to get Hillary Clinton out so they can have Elizabeth Warren in as the candidate.
Yeah, I actually am on that bandwagon.
I am too.
Because of Pat.
But you know what? You want a real debate? You want a real debate of the direction of the country?
Oh yeah.
That's the that is the two that I'd like to see. Elizabeth Warren and Ted Cruz.
Yes, because of her boldness.
It would be great.
On her extreme views.
Yeah, she
That'd be great
she
to have
at
that
least
debate.
tells the truth of, and I don't know if she would continue, but she has so far.
Yep.
She at least tells the truth of who she is. Good. So let's have America decide. Elizabeth Warren, Ted Cruz, let's have America decide.
It would cost me a bad meal or two, but
that's okay.
Here's our sponsor this half hour. It's Simple to Lose. A structured and nutritious eating plan that's easy to follow, something that is goof-proof, is essential to lose weight. Now, Simple Lose has meal replacements that can help you safely and rapidly lose weight. You just have to remember to eat every 3 hours, which is never a problem for me. 2, diets don't work long-term without a lifestyle change. You have to have a lifestyle change. Otherwise, you're going to gain it all back. 3, the third component is you're going to get the free services of a personal certified health coach. My sister is a certified health coach. She has changed her life, and then she wanted to pass it on and help change other people's lives. And they go on, and they become a health coach. It's very AA in that regard. You're helping each other. And it really does make an impact. Simple to Lose works because it is simple. It's just easy. And you'll keep it off. If you've made up your mind to change your life, now is the time to do it. SimpleToLose.com. That's SimpleToLose.com.
The Glenn Beck Program.
The Blaze Radio Network.
Never before offered. 2 to 66-acre Georgia mountain estates in a fully completed land report certified mountain community are being liquidated for way below the cost of development. Ideally located just 1 hour north of Atlanta on one of the highest elevated properties in Georgia, this community features a private lake, trout streams, waterfalls, and miles of hiking trails. 1.7 acres with exceptional mountain views, $19,900. 9+ acres with abundant privacy, one of a kind, just $59,900. Or 66 acres with 3,400 feet of trout stream frontage, loaded with hardwoods and waterfalls, $299,900. And you can now build a brand new mountain lodge for just $99,900. This is the best value in the Georgia mountains. Call 844-BIG-LAND to schedule your visit. Ideal mountain retreat with waterfalls, trout stream, hiking trails, and a private lake. Call 844-BIG-LAND. 844-BIG-LAND. That's 844-244-5263. Cabin shell lot not included. Equal housing opportunity.
My name is Erica Olstein. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and oriental medicine at A Better You Healthcare's Pokin' for the People Community Acupuncture. Join us every Monday at 4 p.m. for a relaxing and therapeutic community acupuncture session with like-minded, health-conscious individuals from our community. Pricing is only $35. Group sessions involve yoga breathing and acupuncture for the benefit of stress, anxiety, and depression. Unwind and start your week off right. If stress is leaving you a mess, you need a checkup from the neck up. When you're feeling blue, come to A Better You. A Better You Healthcare, just behind the Paddock Mall on 27th Avenue. For further details, visit abetteryouhealthcare.com or call 615-5566. Again, that number is 615-5566.
Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors, with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs. And all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown Newspaper online.
Here's a way for you to have some fun and at the same time support Team WOCA The Source in our efforts to raise funds for the Marion County Literacy Council. You can have Robin and I come to your event or somebody else's event. I play accordion, she plays mandolin, and we'll give the oompa surprise to somebody who may not be expecting it. So call us at 732-8000, ask for Robin. 100% of your donation of any amount will go to the Marion County Literacy Council, and it is tax deductible. Call today, 732-8000.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. More clouds and sun today with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm crossing the area. The high 78 to 82. Mostly cloudy tonight with a shower around early, low 59 inland, 65 on the coast. Tomorrow will turn out partly sunny, but there may be a brief shower in spots in the afternoon, the high 80 to 84. On Wednesday, partly sunny and warm again, a chance of a shower, high 82 to 86. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
WWWOCA,
Your source for the #1 sports weekends. Fox Sports, only on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. We are The Source, WOCA.
Listening to the Glenn Beck Program.
4 years ago, guy gets his girlfriend's name tattooed on his lower lip. Now she's his ex, and he may actually lose his job over the tattoo because his girlfriend's name was ISIS.
Yeah, not the best move.
Not the
in retrospect.
Yeah,
really bad luck though.
Yeah, really bad luck.
Really
that's
bad.
The girlfriend that just keeps on giving.
You're listening to the Glenn Beck Program.
The Blaze Radio Network.
Have you thought about adding physical gold to your investment portfolio? There are 3 reasons to add gold right now. First, cyber criminals have already stolen up to $1 billion from financial institutions, and we appear unfortunately defenseless to stop them. Physical gold can't be hacked or electronically stolen. Second, wars, terrorism, and the financial instability that threaten our global economy. Gold is a traditional safe haven asset investors turn to during times of uncertainty. And finally, gold has survived longer than any currency now in existence. Call Goldline today and receive your free investor kit. They're the only precious metal company that I trust and recommend. 866-465-3546. Ask them about the payment options and read their important risk information to see if buying precious metals is right for you. They'll also include your free copy of the latest Precious Metals Insider, which is full of useful information about gold and silver markets. At Goldline, credit card orders receive the same price as cash, and shipping is always free. Call Goldline today, 866-GOLDLINE. Let me talk to you for a minute if you run a business, especially if you're hiring. It used to be that you would post a job in one place and hope for the best, but that's not nearly enough to find the right qualified candidates now. If you want to find the best, perfect hire, you need to post the job on all of the top websites with ZipRecruiter.com. You can post your job to 50-plus job sites, including social networks like Facebook and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any industry, just one post, and watch your qualified candidates roll in to ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. And with ZipRecruiter's premium traffic boost, you can get up to 3 times more candidates. Quickly screen applicants, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 200,000 businesses already. And right now, you can try it for free. Plus, get 30% off your first traffic boost by going to ZipRecruiter.com/Beck. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Beck. Go to ZipRecruiter.com.
Hey Ocala, this is Kelly Hart, Executive Editor of Ocala Magazine. Did you know last year Ocala Magazine won more awards in excellence than any other publication in Florida? And this year, Ocala Magazine was named Best Consumer Magazine in the state. Now you can join me every Friday at 10 a.m. on Ocala Magazine Radio, where we bring the pages of Ocala Magazine to life, right here on The Source. Ocala Magazine thanks you for making us #1. And remember, there is only one Ocala Magazine.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
In a study involving more than 2,000 people, those with slimmer waistlines showed higher cognitive ability than those who were overweight or obese. Our pets improve our character and make us much better people. If your partner's the one who's stressed out, we know that you will be 25% more likely to be affected than a stranger would be. Yeah, be careful because stress is contagious.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. Trying to secure the conservative Christian vote, Ted Cruz becomes the first major figure of either party to announce he's running for president.
Certainly, he's going to try and get as many of those voters as possible, particularly in those early primary states, the Iowa caucuses, South Carolina, even Florida, where they have big evangelical populations, to try and get momentum early in the nomination process.
Fox Radio's Jared Halpern. Cruz declared at Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia, the world's largest Christian university. Russia threatens a member of NATO.
The Russian ambassador to Denmark telling the Danish government that if it follows through on a pledge to commit warships to a NATO missile defense shield being planned for Europe, then Denmark may find Russia pointing its nuclear missiles at those warships.
Fox Radio's Simon Owen. 7 Jewish siblings killed in a Brooklyn, New York house fire Saturday are buried in Israel today. Fox News. We report. You decide.
Geico presents Fan Mail to a Pig.
Dear Maxwell, I just want to say thank you for making my Geico Insurance ID card digital. It's easy to find on the app. It doesn't give me paper cuts, and I always have it on hand because it's on my phone. Because of this, I finally cleaned out my glove box, which was filled with years of paper ID cards. Any thought on what I should put in my glove box now? Sincerely, Trent Patterson. Trent, what can you put in the glove box? Here's a crazy thought. How about gloves?
Digital insurance ID cards, just a tap away on the Geico app.
Do you run a small business? Do you want it to grow? Well, then don't let your business slow down or shut down because you lost your computer files. Get Carbonite and your files will be backed up to the cloud automatically. No matter how many computers, servers, or external drives you have, Carbonite has an affordable plan. Start a free trial today at Carbonite.com. No credit card required. Use offer code BACKITUP and get 2 free bonus months with purchase. Carbonite.com. Offer code BACKITUP.
Hey, I'm Gary.
And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Do you have areas that have started sagging or drooping? Is what you're looking at not quite the same as it was years ago? Are there enhancements you've been putting off? Is there serious damage you need fixed? Then call on us, Damage Control Services. When your roof is sagging and the drywall is drooping after a storm, or your home just needs some enhancements, from damage repairs to new construction, Damage Control Services is here to help.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.